their YouTube page. If you search YouTube for Dive Eye, search for their channel.
5 minutes.
The live broadcast that started at 6 will be on the YouTube. Search YouTube for Dive Eye. Go ahead over to them.
Good morning. I'm Carla Sue Hansen. I'm here representing AIDA International, and we are live from Roatan at the AIDA International Freediving World Championships for depth. We're really excited to be here today. We've got dive-by for the first time for our broadcast, and we're really looking forward to showing you and the whole world what we do here at AIDA Depth Diving. We're getting ready. We have about 4 minutes on our blue platform before we have our first start. It's going to be Jennifer Brandt from the United States. She's doing a 35-meter free immersion dive, and the dive time announced is 1 minute and 40 seconds. Are you ready? Okay, good morning. Carla Sue Hansen here from AIDA International. We are beginning our first dive here at the AIDA International Depth World Championships in beautiful Roatan, Honduras. Welcome, and we are really excited to have you all here for our first ever live broadcast featuring dive-by for complete coverage of all the dives from the surface all the way down to the plate and back again to the surface. Today we're having ladies free immersion, and we have 2 platforms running. We have a blue platform and a white platform. They're on an interval so that you will be able to see both dives. And we're getting ready now for Jennifer Brandt to start from the United States. She's on the blue platform. She has announced a 35-meter dive with a dive time of 1:40. On the white platform, a few minutes later, we will be having Julia Wheeler from Australia. The format that we're having today is a pyramid style on our start list, which means that we start with shallow dives, go up to the deeper dives, and then come back again to the shallow dives. The reason for this is that it's for safety reasons. The safeties then have a chance to kind of warm up and get ready, so they don't have to dive as deep at the beginning. And by the time they get to the deep dives where they have to do a deeper safety, they're ready to go. And also then at the end, they go to a shallower dive and they will not be so tired. So that's why we do this. So our discipline today is free immersion. Let's watch here as Jennifer gets ready to go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push the top. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And Jennifer's off. According to the AIDA International rules for free immersion, the diver has 30 seconds from the official top to immerse the airways and begin the dive. If the diver is later than 30 seconds, it is a disqualification. If the diver submerses their airways, comes up and then starts again, that's a double start. That is also a disqualification. Free immersion is our discipline, the only one where the diver is allowed to use the rope to propel themselves down. They pull themselves hand over hand like this, and as you can see Jennifer here, she's pulling herself down. She will get to maybe approximately 25 meters and then start her free fall. As you can see here, she's falling nicely. She is now at 33 meters, as you can see on your screen. Her announced dive was 35 meters. She's got the tag, and she's coming back up. She will try to be as relaxed as she can on her return and make this dive without any problem. Jennifer wanted me to tell you that she is from Hawaii and that she just started diving about 6 months ago, and she is here to try to learn more about free diving and improve her skills. And she is part of our U.S. Masters program. In the U.S., we have a very strong Masters program in many sports, including freediving and swimming, and it's for competitors who are past the age group, or for freediving, it's over 50 years old, and you can attain records in your own age group. And here's Jennifer now. Let's watch and see her protocol. Her coach is helping her. She's taking off her nose clip, and she is giving the judge the OK sign. In her hand, you can see the tag, which is required. The judge has to see the tag. The judge is now required to hold her for 30 seconds before they give her a card. We'll watch and see with the judge's decision. The judges will confer, and then they will present the card to her. Jennifer is anxiously awaiting. It seems like forever before they give the card. And it's a white card. Very good start to our day here. A white card on our first day. A white card means that that's a good dive. It's been verified by the judges that there were no problems with the dive. She performed everything correctly, and she will receive 35 points for that dive. In all depth disciplines, each diver receives 1 point per meter. Now, there are some penalties which can happen, and in which you can have lesser points. If you turn early, those points are deducted from your dive total. Or if you leave too early, that's another way you can have it. It's 1 point per 5 seconds. But on that dive, Jennifer was clean, and she will get her full 35 points. Our next diver is going to be on the white line, just opposite here. And that is Julia Wheeler from Australia. And she is here competing for the first time. And we are excited to have her. And she's just been learning. She's a new free diver. She said she started 10 months ago, and we're really anxious to see what she can do. She told me the other day she was having some trouble with her equalization. So she has announced a 50-meter dive and a dive time of 2:06. So we will be seeing how she goes. She was having a little trouble with her mouth fill. Mouth fill is a technique we use for equalization. It's you have to store air in your cheeks, and you have to do it fairly early in the dive, usually prior to about 25 meters, and hold that air and use it to equalize throughout the dive. Because of the depths that we are diving in free diving these days, the lungs become compressed very small, to about the size of about 1/3 their normal size. And because of that, it can be difficult to equalize because you have very little air to use to be able to do it. So for newer divers and for divers trying to increase their depth, the equalization can be an issue sometimes. So it's a matter of practice and technique, and something that divers learn over time. It also has to do with your sinuses and your eustachian tubes and some other physiological issues that people may have. Sometimes they may require surgery or some other thing in order to repair something that's not working correctly, but mostly it's a technique issue, and something that one has to practice quite a while. Free immersion is the best way to practice it, because you can take your time and learn how to equalize. When you're going faster speeds, like in constant weight, it can be more difficult. So let's get ready here. Jennifer's about ready to go. She has 20 seconds. Got a little bit of a line movement there, a little swell. The diver must keep their head up out of the water after official talk until they're ready to go. This is one of our rules requirements. Let's see what Jennifer does here. One of the safeties is doing the countdown.
7, 8, 9, 10.
And Jennifer's off. Or Julia, I'm sorry. Julia Wheeler from Australia. And here she goes. She's doing her descent. She's taking some nice long strokes. You want to try to stay as relaxed as possible. Stay fairly hydrodynamic, but not so stiff that you're making yourself tense. She seems nice and relaxed. Looks like she's she's in her free fall now. Trying to glide down. She's presently at 32 meters. Moving along just fine.
Just so you know that
She looks good.
the right side is not cropped.
Everything's going well. And she's coming up on 46 meters. She'll be nearing the plate very soon, and there she is at the plate. She grabs her tag.
Great. I'm turning this off.
And she starts her ascent. And here she comes. We have our tags are small Velcro tags. The female part of the Velcro, the softer part. The part that has more adhesion, that part, you can put around your wristband or on your neck or anywhere on your suit and attach the tag to that so you don't have to carry it in your hand. It makes it a lot easier. But people have different ways. They put it in their hood, they put it in their swim cap, whichever they want. I've even seen a few people put it in their teeth, but I don't recommend that. And here she comes. She's at 9 meters now. Both safeties are with her, swimming up. Jennifer's looking good. And here she is on the surface. She must turn around and face the judges, remove her nose clip, give the OK sign within 15 seconds of surfacing. If she's over time, even by 1/100th of a second, 15.1 or such, that is a disqualification. She's looking good. She has to keep her head up out of the water until the judges give her the card. Once she has the card, she's cleared to go and can do whatever she wants. There she goes. She's being congratulated by our judge from Russia, Ekaterina Romanova. Now she's being disconnected from the line with her lanyard. A lanyard is required for all divers. It's a safety issue so that we don't lose anybody. We can always have them there. We keep track of them. They can't just drift off. Some divers like to close their eyes when they dive so they can relax more. And if they were not attached to the line, this could be a hazard. They could just get lost, and it could be very dangerous. Next, coming up on the blue line, we have Nancy Gibson from the UK. I think Nancy is a relatively new diver as well. We're glad to have her here. Her announced performance is 56 meters in a dive time of 2:20. Nancy is getting ready now. She's relaxing. She has a noodle she's become famous for here at the competition, which is decorated with skulls. And then she has kind of a standard noodle. Divers have different ways that they like to start their dive. Some do it they'll be laying down horizontally, as Nancy is doing, breathing up on their back. Others will hold the line and be seated and sitting up. There's no rule about that. It's all dive preference on how the diver prefers to do it. And you'll see various styles throughout the day as we watch different people. It's just an individual thing. Some people feel they can get a better breath if they're in an upright position. Some people feel they're more relaxed in this position. Also, when they're in this horizontal position, a prone position, some of them roll over towards the line and start that way. Others go backwards and kind of do a back flip into the water. And as I said, there's no rule about which one should do. It's just individual preference on what you're most comfortable doing. We'll watch Nancy's dive today. I actually have not seen her dive in in the training this week. I've been out here every day since I arrived last week, but I don't believe I've had a chance to catch Nancy. I've been doing a lot of other things, making sure that our medical team has all their equipment that they need, and everything else we've got going with our judges. We have 6 judges from all different countries. I'll name them for you now. You might be interested to know. We have our head judge is Radoslaw Gasha from Poland. Our assistant judge is Ekaterina Romanova from Russia. We have John Wright from New Zealand. We have Sava Sava from Cyprus. Alexandru Rusu from Romania, and Junko Kitahama from Japan. So we have a very diverse group representing all corners of the world, and we're very pleased to have them here. And it's a big job for the judges and a very important one. So Nancy's getting ready to go now. Let's see how her start looks. She's breathing up. She's taking a couple of packs. She turns towards the line, grabs the line, starts her pull down, and starts her descent. And there goes Nancy. Okay, if you look at your screen, you can see now as she's descending, she's at 8 meters, 10 meters. The descent rate depends on the individual divers. Some will go faster, some will go slower. It's Dan Verhoeven coming across your screen there, our official photographer. We have a number of photographers here, and Nancy now she's coming up at 27 meters and trying to get into her free fall. Just doing a couple more strokes, and there she goes. So she will try to relax and save as much oxygen as she can and be efficient, and just not burn oxygen and not burn energy. It's difficult. It's very difficult. I'm sure watching this, some of you who are not freedivers may say, what are they doing? They just look like they're just kind of laying there. And actually, they're moving a lot more than you can tell. There she is at the bottom of the plate. She grabs her tag, and she starts pulling back up again. And there she goes. Everything's looking good at this point. She's coming back. As she comes back up, we have sonar over on the platform, watching her as well as we are here, and they will be reporting the depths where she is. The safeties will meet her at 25 meters and escort her to the surface. The reason for this is that the likelihood of having trouble is more of a possibility at the end of the dive than it is at the bottom. So the safeties are there. Second safety has just joined her, as you can see. 20 meters, she's coming up. Julian Board safety is waiting on the line for her. He's checking to make sure she's all right. There's her 2 safeties with her, giving her signals, telling her she's fine, making sure she's facing the right direction, and here she comes. All right, let's see how this protocol goes. She's going to remove her nose clip. She's taking her brief rest. She's signaling, "I'm okay," to the judge. She's got her head up. She's got her tag. She has it, as I mentioned, she's got it attached there to her neck weight or somewhere on the top of her suit. She's showing it to the judges, and now she just has to wait. She's being coached by Julia from Australia, and she got her white card. Nice dive. Sure, she's very excited about that. That looked great. So far we've had some very strong dives, which is great. Okay, up next on the white platform is Mariana Siobhan from France. Mariana will be doing a 60-meter dive in a dive time of 2:30, and she's relaxing on her back, preparing for her dive. And see, her start time is officially 9:06, so we have 3 minutes. Each diver is guaranteed a minimum time on the line so that they can relax and prepare. We don't want to have to rush and stress the diver out and not give them time to relax and breathe and go through their routine. So in the rules, we have it required that they are allowed enough time to relax and get ready for their dive. Every diver wears an official gauge. It is provided by AIDA. They are Sunto gauges. They are calibrated every year by Sunto. Our line is set according to these official gauges. The model that we are using is the DX, which has been tested to big depths, which is what we need here. And we set the line every morning. We drop the gauges down and we check the depth at the deepest dive of the day, and then bring it up to several other depths and verify that the line is marked correctly and it's reading correctly. If we notice that anything has changed, that the line has stretched or anything, we will adjust it by the amount that we have determined that it is off. Each time, the judge will call out to the person setting the line on the platform, safety diver who has that assigned job. They will set the line, the judge will check the marking to make sure it's right, then another safety diver in the water will dive down to the next 10-meter mark and verify that it is set correctly. This way we won't have any mistakes. We have like a triple check system to make sure that those lines are set correctly. Getting ready now for Mariana for her 60-meter dive. Her dive time again is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. She has 20 seconds. She's just trying to relax and breathe. You can see our judges here. Kacha and Junko are on this line this morning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Siobhan is breathing, and there she goes. She did that backward start that I was mentioning, where she just kind of slips into the water from the back. She's pulling down now. She's coming up on 8 meters, 9, 10, doing some nice strong pulls, trying to make cover as much of the rope as she can in an easy way, and she looks to be doing just fine. We have quite a few members of the French team here competing. We are really excited about that, since this is the first competition that we have had outside of Europe for a number of years. We had a 2009 Depth World Championship in the Bahamas, which was my first competition in which I competed. Then we had a Team World Championship in Okinawa, Japan, but everything else we've had since then has been in Europe. So this is a nice chance for all of our members who are diving in the Americas and other regions to be able to participate and not have such big airfare to pay. We also have beautiful conditions here. The water is very warm and it makes it easy to dive. It's calm. We don't have a lot of current. As long as we don't have bad weather, everything is really nice and conducive to some very good, easy dives. And we can see Mariana ascending now. She got her tag. Everything's fine. She's just trying to relax and come up and conserve energy. She's probably thinking about her protocol at this moment, reminding herself she needs to look at the judges. She needs to remove her nose clip. She needs to give the okay single and then say, I am okay, all within 15 seconds. If she completes that properly, she will be awarded a white card. So let's see how she's doing. She's currently, the safety has met her now, the first safety, and you'll see the second safety appearing right now. We have 2 safeties on each dive, meeting the diver to escort them to the surface to make sure everything's fine. They will look directly into the diver's eyes, making sure that they're not having any sort of issues at all, and everything is comfortable, they're strong, they're not asking for help. A diver can always ask for help, and a safety will lift them to the surface. Here comes Siobhan. Let's see her. Mariana, let's see how she looks. She's looking at the judges. She's doing her recovery breaths, making sure she's breathing, looking right at Judge Katja Romanova. Katja has her stopwatches in hand. Coach is coaching her, reminding her what to do in the correct order. Now she just has to wait. Let's see what the judges have to say. Excellent. Good performance. White card, clean dive. Very good work. You know what? When I was, is it okay? Can you hear me all right? Okay. Hi, we're back. I'm sorry. Our Chief of Safety, Ren Chapman, had something he wanted to say to me. Ren Chapman is our safety and our head of this whole thing, making sure everything is going great. And I'd just like to give a shout out to his wife, Ashley, and their darling daughter, Ani. Ashley and Ani were here earlier, but they went home. Ashley is expecting, so you know, she's got to take care of herself first. And things here can get rather stressful because we want this to go really well, and there's just a lot of questions. You don't get a lot of sleep and all that. So hi to Ashley, and thank you for all your work getting this going for us. She was a big part of getting this going. We're on the white platform now, and we have Aurora also from France who's going to be diving. She does not want to have dive eye, so we will not be showing this dive for her. And oh, I'm sorry, the blue platform. Excuse me. But the blue platform, we have Natalie Redman. I'm sorry. So Natalie Redman, and she is doing a 60-meter dive in a dive time of 2:12. And Natalie is getting ready for her dive, and we'll wait for her. She's on her back, as I said. She's got her noodle. She's using one noodle. Some people use two, some people don't use any. Everyone has a different preference on how they do things, and we're excited to see Nancy here. I haven't met her in the past. This is the first competition in which I have seen her. So we're very happy to have a lot of new divers here participating. This competition has attracted a lot of people from different areas and different divers than we might usually see. So we're always glad to have our known divers back, but it's always great to have new ones. Here she goes on the countdown. Victoria's counting her down. She's taking her last breaths. Getting herself situated. She removes her noodle, and there she goes.
Natalie Redman from South Africa, doing 60
Natalie is from South Africa, and we had a formal group in AIDA from South Africa, which was led by Hanley Prinsloo. But Hanley has gotten involved in some other things. She's a big advocate in shark conservation and ocean conservation in general. And she just didn't have time, and she wasn't doing competitive freediving anymore. So that group has kind of disbanded, and now we have a new group starting. So Natalie is one of the representatives from South Africa, and we're really glad to have South Africa back with us again. We are always happy at AIDA International for new countries to start. We have about 42 member countries currently, but we get new ones, probably once a month. I had several inquiries just from this competition. We had Guatemala has applied for full membership. We have Peru here, we have Honduras, we have Ecuador. All new members, and it's just great to see this. Here she is. She's coming down to the plate, having a little trouble there at the plate with the tag, but she's got it. She's securing the tag on her wristband, and she's coming back up. So everything is looking great here. One thing about free immersion is, as a judge and as watching it here on our dive, there's not as much to watch for as far as violations go, because you're allowed to use the rope. It doesn't matter where you grab it. Now on our other disciplines, when we move into the constant weight disciplines, it does matter. You are not allowed to grab the rope. If you grab the rope, it's a penalty of 5 points. If you pull, it's a disqualification if you are outside of the candy cane zone. And the candy cane zone is that 2 meters down at the bottom where you see the little stripes. So anything outside of that results in either a penalty or a disqualification. Here she's coming. You can see the light getting brighter. Both safeties are with her. The photographers are coming in to take their photos. I'm sure she'll be glad to have her picture taken here. She's coming to the surface. She's very close. I can see her from here. Our water is so clear. It's just stunningly beautiful. And here she is. She's taking her breaths. She's removing her nose clip. She's giving the okay sign. She says, "I'm okay." She's looking right at the judges. They're right in front of her. And very strong dive, no issues that I can see. We'll wait for the decision of the judges. Sometimes they see something that we don't see from here, so it's always on the judges. It may look good from my perspective, but something was that I didn't notice could be wrong. She's got her back to me, so I could certainly miss something. So, South African record. That was Alex Russo reporting. That is a new South African record in free immersion for Natalie of 60 meters. So we are very excited about that. Congratulations to Natalie for that beautiful dive. As I started to say earlier, next on our white platform, well, no, we have Lena Volta coming up on the white platform. Lena's dive is going to be 63 meters and a dive time of 2:25. Lena is originally from Belgrade, Serbia. Lena just happens to be a friend of mine, so I may know a little bit more about her than I do about some people, because she resides in the same town that I'm from, Newport Beach, California. And she left Belgrade when the Bosnian conflict was happening as a young child, and she had moved to Holland and lived in different places for years. She was prior to being in California, she was living in Mexico. She started freediving there and training, and the Serbs actually have a pretty strong team, and also the our AIDA board sports officer, who is the person in charge of competitions, is from Serbia, as Uroš Kojic. And so Lena is here today. She's excited to be here because she's another person who actually lives closer to this area since she's residing in California at the time. And so this made it easier. She didn't have to go to Europe. And the only problem we have in California is Lena and I were having a conversation before we came out on the boat this morning. It's not a good place to train. Our water is very cold, it's very murky, it's very rough. We have to go pretty far to find any depth. It's very sharky, which can be quite scary, and I'm not talking about little sharks. I think you all know what kind of sharks we have in California. We have the kind of sharks that bite people. So it is problematic, but we do pool train on a regular basis. Lena and I both belong to the same club, and we have a pretty hard routine that we do, pool training, which keeps us in shape. And 30 seconds until Lena's start. She has been diving for, maybe 4 years, I think now. She participated in Vertical Blue this year and had a successful competition there. She had had an illness which prevented her from diving for a while, and it was undiagnosed, and she finally figured out what it was, and they had given her a medication she was allergic to and became very ill. She's back on track now, but she got a little injury, so she's having problems with her feet. She can't get a monofin on, so she's going to try a dive tomorrow, see how that goes for training, and see if she can do that. But she's trying free immersion today. She had a good training dive yesterday, so we're wishing her well on this one. She's off now, starting her dive of 63 meters in a dive time of 2:25. Here she goes. She's down at about 14 meters, descending quite quickly. Lena in constant weight is a very, very fast, powerful kicker. So I think she's used to moving fast. That's just her style. The speed of a dive is really a personal thing. Some people go slower, some people go faster, and it's just whatever the person wants to do. Lena likes to move out. I think she drives fast as well. She's got a convertible BMW. I think she's one of those people that just likes speed. She likes to get going and messing around. Here she is now. She's in her free fall. She's at 44 meters. She's going to do a couple more pulls. She's anxious. She wants to get to that tag. She's really pulling again. She just is impatient on this dive. She wants to get down there and get that tag and come back up. Whoop, she's turning early. Let's see, it looks like she turned at about 52 meters. So I don't know if her equalization bothered her or what happened, but she did not make it all the way down. We'll find out when she comes back up what happened, but she's on her way now. So that's she's coming up. I'm sure she won't be happy about that. Nobody's ever happy when they do an early turn, but she, like I said, she has had an injury and she may not be feeling 100%, and she may have decided just to be cautious and not go the whole way today, but we'll see. She's coming up now. She's at 11 meters. She has both safeties with her. There's nothing wrong. She's not having any sort of a visible problem. She just turned early. It happens quite a bit actually. Sometimes it's nerves. It can be a lot of different things. She's removing her nose clip. She gave the OK signal very quickly. She's fine. She's obviously not smiling. I don't think she's terribly happy, but there's no tag. She's shaking her head no because she did not make it to the bottom, but Katja's checking just to make sure that we didn't make an error, that she didn't actually make it, somehow we missed that. But here she is. She'll wait for Katja to give the card. With an early turn, there's no other option. There's no way you can get a white card if you turn early. It's a penalty. It's a yellow card. The penalty will be the number of points by the distance that she was short on the dive, subtracted plus 1 point for a missing tag. So Lena will get some points on this dive, but not what she was hoping for. Coming up now, we have on the blue platform, excuse me, we have Gritti Bunkerd from Germany. And Gritti told me that her formal name is Grit, but she really likes to be called Gritti, so we will do that. And I would like to do anything I can to make Gritti happy. It's the first time I've met her. I'm really glad to have her here from Germany. She's come a long way for this, and it's really great to see her here. She's breathing up. Now here's something we haven't seen prior to this. She's breathing up, she's on her stomach and breathing through a snorkel. Some people like to do that. Sometimes they will do it all the way up to the beginning of their dive when they start their descent. Others will do it for a time and then remove the snorkel and then start in a position with their head above the water. For the judge, if they start like this with the snorkel, it can be difficult to determine when the start actually starts because we have the dive will officially start when the diver removes the snorkel if it's after official top. Prior to official top, they can do whatever they want, but if the dive is after official top and then it starts when they remove the snorkel. It's not quite as important in free immersion as it is in constant weight and constant no fins, because you're not allowed to you have to let go of the line before you remove it. But for this, hey Lena. So we've got, so right now we're gonna wait for Gritti to go. She's announced a 62-meter dive in a dive time of 2:35, and we will be watching her do this dive. I've got a couple of people up here who have joined me, which is great. We've got Julia. Julia's going to come over and talk to us, and we also got Lena. And so Julia, come over here and you can watch this dive with me. Congratulations on a successful dive. That was fabulous. congratulations. That was just wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good dive.
It was fun. You had a great time.
Yeah,
Good.
it was really nice.
Enjoying it here?
Yeah, it's incredible. The conditions are so perfect. And
Oh, that's
it's
great.
Such a good energy. So,
Is this your first major competition?
Yes, this is my first international competition. Yeah.
Good, great.
Yeah.
That's really great. Well, we're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I was just commenting to our audience that Gritti from Germany here, she's got Tim Omegan coaching her, by the way. If you see Timmy there, we always notice Timmy likes purple. All his things are purple, his fin, everything matches.
We have a purple snorkel as well.
Yeah, and she's matching. Timmy is coaching her. And Gritti, I was commenting, we hadn't seen anyone do this before, likes to breathe up with a snorkel. We haven't had anyone in this competition do that yet. And she is, you can see now, she removes the snorkel.
There she goes.
The moment she removes the snorkel is the time the dive begins. And here she goes. She's off, she's pulling down. She has little, she's doing a lot of little small pulls. Each person has a different technique and style. There's not a right way or wrong way.
Started free fall.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, no. Now she's doing a couple more strokes. She's coming along. And so, what do you think about this dive eye we've got going here, Julia?
I think it's so cool. I mean, you can see everything. You can see everyone. Yeah, I guess it's amazing. It's really incredible. Even watching it now, I'm a bit lost for words.
Yeah.
You can just see the diver going into their relaxation mode, and you can see what, you can just relate to what they're doing, and it's so cool. And it's such an awesome safety mechanism as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't feel so silly when you see people like kind of moving around if you do the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
well, the primary reason for it,
it's
of
a
course,
nice free fall.
yeah, she's in a nice position here. She looks very relaxed.
Yeah.
She's coming along. You can see here her current step, 55 meters. We know exactly where she is, what she's doing.
And she's going for 62.
Yes, she's going to 62. You can see her dive time along with this, so we know that there she is. She's at the plate. She's got her tag, and she's coming back up.
And a couple of tags. Oh, look at that. Little pulls.
Little pulls. Yep. She looks anxious to come. She's having a good time. Very good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Her pull is quite fast, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, this was what's so great about this, because normally we don't get to see these things. We don't really know what everybody does. And this, revealing some secrets and maybe also showing bad habits, it has both advantages and disadvantages. But the thing that's great is, our first priority for this, of course, is the safety. There comes the first safety. We can see he's there.
Yep.
Everything's good.
Yep. Oh, now she's taking the longest strokes.
Yep.
A couple maybe. Yep.
Yep. Lengthening those strokes.
Nice
Second safety is
pulls.
there. Second safety is coming around.
Oh,
Good. There comes the photographer.
Yep.
There's Dan.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
she slowed it down a bit.
Yeah. I guess she's just trying to
Just
compose herself, I think, before she comes to the surface. Probably thinking about the steps she needs to do to complete her protocol.
She's probably having a great time.
Yeah.
That's always the
great.
best bit, just
Yeah.
before you're about to hit the surface. Oh.
And there she is. She takes off her mask, takes off her nose clip.
And she said, "I'm okay."
Yep. And she's got a tag in her hand.
Keeping her head nice and high
Yeah.
above the water.
She looks excited.
Ah, that's so cool.
Now she waits until she gets the card.
Oh, I love it when
So
they
it's
smile. It's so nice. Such a good feeling.
Yeah, this is great. It's not only do we have the safety advantage, of course, we have this right now where everyone can watch and see what we're doing, which is a real showcase for what we do in freediving, which most people just don't know about. It's almost kind of a hidden secret.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, but it's just been that way. There she goes. She got a white card. Nice job, Gritti.
Awesome.
And
Yeah,
that was
it's
good.
great, to be able to show people what we do. More and more people are becoming accustomed to what freediving actually is. It's not cliff jumping; it's going underwater.
A lot of people think it is cliff jumping. You're
Yeah,
right.
they
Yeah,
do.
absolutely. So that's
It's really nice for them to see, kind of put a bit of visualization to what we're actually doing.
Yeah. The other thing that's really nice too is an opportunity for the divers to see themselves as well. And I know when I'm diving, it's like I don't know what I'm doing, and for better or for worse, I'd like to see so I can maybe learn how to improve my technique, see what I'm doing right, see what I'm doing wrong. You know, we get to see sometimes the very advanced divers, you know, like we've all seen videos of William Trubridge doing a free immersion at 124 meters, but I don't ever get to see myself because no one cares about filming me. So
I care. I'd love to see you. I love seeing everyone dive. It's awesome.
Yeah, so
it's really cool.
It's you know, it's great to see that an advantage, and you can work on your technique this way, and it really gives us a great thing. Okay, so up on the white platform now, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, Aurora also of France is going to be diving a free immersion dive of 70 meters and a dive time in 2:36, but Aurora has asked us not to show her dive live, so we will not be doing that to comply with her wishes. If somebody doesn't want their dive, that's up to them, so
Okay.
we won't be commenting or doing anything on this dive. So Lena has joined us here, and we're gonna have Lena come over. If you would like to, Lena, do you feel like talking or no?
I'm gonna go and coach.
Thank you so much.
No
Thanks for
worries.
joining us, and we'll talk to you again later. So Lena, all right. I know. I told you all when I'm on my comments, I didn't think Lena was going to be terribly excited about that dive. So would you like to tell us what you were feeling and what was going on? And
It's quite disappointing because yesterday I had a really good dive to almost the same depth. But I just have been injured since I got here, just kind of going through really weird body changes, and I just wasn't feeling good. I just felt contractions very, very early. I just wasn't feeling good from the top.
Yeah,
I
just
started
didn't
pulling
feel right.
again at 50 meters.
yeah,
It's like-
we saw you pulling. Yeah.
so I thought I was kind of trying to speed myself up, which is also not a great idea. So I just decided to abort. Better than
Getting injured.
get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is quite disappointing.
Yeah, I thought you'd be disappointed. I saw you pulling, and I thought, gosh, you're obviously not getting into your relaxation mode and just going with the dive. It seemed like you were kind of wanting to hurry, or I'm sure some things were going through your head that you wished weren't.
It's not even that. It was just really very physical. I actually felt pretty relaxed, and my warm-up felt fine. It was just very physical. I just started and I got contractions very early, like at 25 meters on the way down. So, you know, we're women. We have some changes happen sometimes to our
happen, yeah,
bodies,
things
and
happen.
we can't explain.
Yeah. For those of you who may not be divers yourselves, what Lena is talking about contractions is actually the diaphragm. It's actually kind of it's very uncomfortable. It's like a heaving. It's your body trying to make you breathe. It's a signal that your body wants you to breathe. And it's not fun. And some people suffer very severe contractions. Others don't get a lot of contractions. It's an individual thing, and it can change. Like some days you don't have them, and another day you do. And we don't really know why. Sometimes it's you're tired, or you're stressed, or you're dehydrated.
Exactly. It's very
who knows?
bodies are sensitive, and this is a sensitive
Yeah.
type of activity.
Yeah. Now, other than the fact that today's dive was not what you wanted after having a really good training dive yesterday, I told everyone your dive yesterday was really, really great, and I watched it, but unfortunately it didn't come together for our competition dive. But other than that, how are you enjoying it here? And what do you think about Dive Eye and what
This
we've
is
got
really
going on
amazing.
here?
Yeah, I'm really feeling bad because it's a really bad season for me, and I just haven't been feeling well at all, and I've been injured right before I was gonna come here. I haven't been training much, so for me personally, it hasn't been a great season, but it's an amazing year for freediving. I'm very happy about that. Just having this in our sport now that we can show it off a little bit more is really great, and I'm very excited that's happening. I think it's going to be great for the future of freediving, and it's going to grow our sport much faster.
How do you feel about the fact that we are watching you the entire time, and that I'm not talking about watching critically. I'm saying for safety factor, knowing that nothing's going to happen that we're not going to know about.
I think that's amazing. I think it's going to improve the safety of the sport a lot, and it's going to we'll be able to see things that we maybe don't know about yet, and things like that. I think that's going to be great, and it's a big deal for our sport.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, we made a critical decision this year. Nihal and the dive team and I we started these talks last September when we were at the Team World Championships in Kalamata, And we were, Mihal was there and he was telling us about this that he had, and we started talking and what we could do to get them at our competitions, and we went back and forth for months trying to figure out, because it's a lot of equipment and they come from Europe and we have to get it all shipped and we have to pay them and all this, and whether it was going to work or not, and you know, in our situation here where we might have some current and some waves and different things. But after months of negotiations, and finally I put my name on that contract. And, I decided we decided with my name on it that we were just going to go for it. So, and I'm really, really pleased. This is just amazing. It's just amazing. It's very exciting. And,
It is.
It's just, I think now it's going to be the standard for the sport. It really is. It's something that we really need to have. So Aurora has completed her dive now, and she got a white card. So everything went well for Aurora, and we're pleased about that. She's got a white card on her dive of 70 meters, and all's good for her. And we'll be moving over to the blue platform now for our next diver, who's going to be Milena Warding from the UK. And right now, Helena is going to be doing a 70-meter dive with a dive time of 2:40. She's got a neck pillow, another apparatus we have yet to see. This is our first neck pillow we've had. Like I said, it doesn't matter what one uses. It's up to you, what you like. And she's got that. And right now, I have Gritti joining me. And Gritti, congratulations. What a beautiful dive.
Thank you.
How did it feel?
I'm really happy that I got there because I was quite nervous. My meditation skills helped me a lot, but I was quite nervous because it's just my third competition.
Yes? Oh,
yeah,
that's
in total.
great.
So,
that's fabulous. That's
I just
fabulous.
started competing last October.
Oh, that's great. So have you been training in Egypt, or where have you been going?
Yeah, I have been training in Egypt. I live and there since almost 2 years, and yes.
Oh, that's great. For our divers from different areas, a lot of our competitors from Europe live maybe somewhere like Germany, Austria, Belgium, wherever, where they don't have the ocean. So they oftentimes will train in Egypt because it's inexpensive, it's close, they can get flights there, it's all set up for training. There are many dive centers there. And so Gritti is one of these people. So we're glad to have her here. And how are you enjoying it here in Roatan?
I must say, I almost really wanted to move to here because the conditions are just so amazing. It's the first time in my life I'm wearing a 1.5 millimeter suit, so I'm really, really happy that this was possible. And I'm really, it's amazing here because it's warm, you never get cold, and also of course the rules it up here and the safeties. It's just completely different when you train for yourself, because now you know you are. Everything is done for you.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, for those of you who haven't been in Egypt before, some of our other training places, they don't always have platforms and this kind of counterbalance of things that we have here, and the sonar and the whole thing. We have everything here to make the sport as safe as possible. And once you get used to it, you get really spoiled. It's just what you become to realize how much easier it is, and it's so much less stress because, and we have two excellent doctors. I will introduce you all to both of them later on, but I have worked with both of these doctors at previous competitions, and they are excellent. We basically have a emergency room on the platform. We have to in these situations because by the time we got somebody to shore and to the hospital, it could be too late. So we have 2 AEDs, heart defibrillators. We have electronic suction devices. We have full airway management. We have every possible. It is an emergency room. So we are equipped to take care of something if anything happens, which is a great reassurance for our divers. So now on the white platform, we have started with Helena. She's on her dive now. As I said, she's going to be doing 70 meters in a dive time of 2:40. And Gritti, take a look at this and tell me what you think about her free fall here.
So Helena is my dive buddy, and we've been diving for the last whole year.
Oh, great!
So I think she looks really, really relaxed. Yes,
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about Helena. She's now coming up at 65 meters. She's looking like she's going to be there. She is at the plate.
Good to take.
She's got her tag,
Yoo-hoo!
and she's coming back up. That looks great.
She will be super happy.
Oh, that's great. Did she seem
That's
nervous or anything prior to this?
She was a little nervous, but she never looks like she is nervous, because she looks always like completely under control or in control.
That's great.
Yes, but I think it's there would be something wrong if you would not.
Yeah,
not
didn't have
get-
some normal
yeah,
nerves.
yeah.
I think it's really hard. I always get really nervous. I know when I dive, so when I compete anyway. And we're really glad to have her here. She sent me a message. I had asked if the divers what they'd like me to say about them, and she said she was ready to have frozen margaritas. So
Yes.
she's looking forward to some good dives and celebrating. And that's one of the things. Just as a side note, our divers during competition don't usually enjoy much as far as, you know, junk food or junk drinks or any of that sort. They're on pretty strict diets normally, so when they're done, they're always glad to celebrate with a couple of beers or something. So here
I'm
she's
so
coming.
happy for her. Yes.
Isn't that great? And here
Yeah.
she's got both safeties with her. You can see Dan Verhoeven over here with his camera. She's coming up. She's at 14 meters. We'll see her in just a second.
I think this dive eye is really great.
Isn't this
Yeah,
isn't
it
it
is.
so cool? I know.
Finally, you can see what
I know.
what
It's
you are
just-
doing and what others are doing. It's great.
It's just so great. It just gives us this added thing that we
Yes.
haven't had before. And here she is. She's giving the signal. She's got her nose clip on. She's smiling, which is great. It's always great to see somebody smiling. Her coach is telling her, reminding her to keep her head up. If you do happen to dip after you come up, that is a disqualification. So you've got to remember to keep that head up. Helena's got, I can tell she's got a big grin on her face even from here. Judges are watching their watches. They wait for the time to pass for the 30 seconds, and soon they will signal to each other, and then she will get her card. Let's see what they say. Oh, white card! Yippee! That's great. Good job for Helena. I'm sure she'll be very pleased with that. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Gritti.
Yeah,
And we'll
thanks,
talk to you
Carla.
again after
Yes.
your next time. Please come by and join us again.
Thank you very much.
All right, over on. Oh, come on over, Nancy. Okay, we're gonna on the white platform. Our next diver is going to be Estrella Navarro home from Mexico. She's going to be attempting a 74-meter dive in a dive time of 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Estrella hails from Baja, La Paz, Mexico. She is the Mexican champion in several different events. She also was a medal winner this year at Vertical Blue. She hosts a competition called the Big Blue, which I judged this year. It was in La Paz in the Espiritu Santo Ocean Reserve. She works very hard with local efforts on conservation in Mexico. Mexico is one of those areas that has a lot of fish, a lot of wildlife. It is a birthing spot in the Sea of Cortez in Baja Los Angeles for the gray whales. So there's a lot of elements there that we need to protect, and Estrella is very involved in that. She has a degree in marine biology, so she is working very hard on efforts there to save a lot of species in the area. Estrella is a very good diver, and we'll look forward to see how she does here. As we've been noticing on these different dives, we see different techniques. As I was telling you, some people lay down, some people have a neck pillow, some people have noodles, some people go head first with a snorkel, and Estrella, she just likes to sit straight up. So it's something for you all to notice, that there's not a right or wrong way, it's individual preference. And for Estrella, this is what she likes to do. So, I have joining me right now a couple of very successful dives. Congratulations, girls.
Thank you.
Tell me how it felt. I have Nancy with us and Mariana, so we're really glad. Everything's going really great. We've only had one early turn, but everything's looking great so far. So tell me how you're enjoying this competition.
Yeah, I love it. This is like our first competitions, isn't it?
Yeah, after the Caribbean Cup, this is my first big competition, and yeah, the nerves are not as high as I expected them to be.
Good.
I was actually quite excited about the dive, and the team is so great and I'm comfortable with the team, so everything just kind of fell into place. I'm really happy.
Oh, and then we have a little interloper here. We have a man who has decided to come into our territory, but we have two actually. We have Alexei Molchanov from Russia and Adam Stern from Australia. So it's great. I don't have to sit here and just blab by myself and try to think of things to say. You all can help me with this.
Help you.
Yeah, so that's great. So Estrella's diving now. Yeah, so Estrella is off. She started her dive and
it looks good.
She looks
good. Yeah, there's. She looks like she's charging the mouthfeel, and there is no much current. Because if it's current, you usually see people just leaning off the rope.
Yep, she started her free fall now. She's at 42 meters. What do you think about this dive-eye thing, Alexei?
Well, it's great. That's just like so much to learn. Like when you see yourself actually diving, and then a safety sea person diving, you can just see what you're doing there. Like it's very good for personal
improvement. For better or for worse, you can see what you're doing right and see what you're doing wrong. Sometimes you just like cringe when you look at yourself, but then in other ways you say, hey, I don't look so bad.
Yeah.
So
then it's the experience of having something down there with you.
You know, I
mimicking your move.
Well, and I think maybe like you girls were saying that it's just having this great safety team that we have here that are so well trained, and then there she is.
Yeah.
She's got her tag. She's coming back up. It all gives you peace of mind. It's like you're not alone. I mean, we are all here. We're watching. If we need to do something, we can act really quickly. As I mentioned earlier to our viewers, we have excellent doctors here, which is extremely important. Very complicated and high technology equipment. And so here's Estrella coming up. Are you feeling any current at all today, girls?
No. Because we were expecting big winds today. So that's why I bought extra noodles, so I didn't get splashed in the face by waves, but we didn't need it because it's just a mill pond.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You never know. That's the one thing we can't control. We can't control the weather and the currents. So we just have to hope that, the weather gods are on our side, when we do these things, So, and here she's coming up. You can see the first safety. She's looking good. She's looking solid.
Yeah, the technique is pretty good. She's pulling the whole way, and time looks good as well.
Yeah.
So it should be quite strong and confident dive for her. 20 meters.
Yeah, 20 meters. Second safety is there. She's coming up on the surface. And this is so great because we can just watch there. You see the photographers come in. We got Dan Verhoeven coming in. And there's the surface camera getting ready for her. The judges are waiting. And we have our surface safeties there ready just in case. And there she is.
Let's see.
She's breathing. Let's see how she looks. She gave the signal. She said, I'm okay. Keep breathing. She's wobbling just a tad.
Yeah, she looks a bit wide, but she's making it.
She's making it. A little pale, a little wobbly. She's keeping her head up though. This is mind over matter at this point. You have to be strong. Keep breathing.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, the judges have the option of. Good job, Estrella. That's a white card for Estrella.
And she pulled through quite nicely.
Yeah. So that's very nice for her. She's very happy. She's being congratulated by. Let's see who that is. Oh, that's Julia. Okay, Julia was coaching her. All the divers here try to help each other out if they need a coach, and so whoever's available. The judges and the safeties are not allowed to coach. That would be a violation because they're part of the organization, so you try to grab one of the other free divers to coach. So Alexei, let's talk about you two guys now. Alexei and Adam, they will be diving tomorrow. And
we'll switch or
finish? Yeah. Thanks, girls. And we'll talk again later after your dives the next days, okay?
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us. Come on over here.
Yeah, so we can work.
They can see you instead of me because I've been sitting here blabbing away all morning. So.
But you're a prettier sight than we are.
The camera's there, so we need to look
there's
there.
the camera. So there you go. Yeah. So guys, what do you think about this location and how's it going? And what do you think?
I mean, it's one of the best places I've ever dove. The only only issue is that sometimes we can get irregular conditions, like when the wind comes up, it comes up with no warning, right?
Yeah.
When the current wants to do its thing, it just comes through. But besides that, like 90% of the days have just been calm, flat, and beautiful. So there's really nothing to complain about.
Oh, that's great. We're going to be starting on the blue platform next. And Alexi,
Alenka is diving next.
Okay, so announce what she's doing.
She's diving pretty soon, within a minute. It's Alenka Artnik, and she's doing 75 meters free immersion, and it'll be national record for her.
And she's from Slovenia.
She's from Slovenia. Oh, 20 seconds.
All right,
So
she's getting ready to go. You can see that she's breathing up on her back with a neck pillow. That's her technique that she uses. I was explaining to our viewers that everyone has their own way. We've seen the whole variety here this morning of the snorkel breathers, the neck pillow, the noodles.
I feel like it depends on how buoyant a person you are. If you're a floaty person, you tend to not to need the noodle.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm pretty buoyant, so I don't use the noodle usually, but okay.
And she's off. Alenka has been diving extremely well since she's been here. She did a 100-meter constant weight dive the other day in training, which was very strong, absolutely no issues on it. So we're looking forward to seeing what she can do on this dive today at 75 meters.
I would assume this would be a very conservative dive for Alenka, especially after the diving she's been doing here.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, maybe she's just not I don't know a lot about her preferences. I don't know, maybe she just doesn't love it as much as she loves constant weight.
Which is fair enough.
I know for Alexi, as a matter of fact, he only recently has decided that he loves free immersion. I mean, you've just kind of taken it on this last year.
Well, you focus first on the cool disciplines, which is constant weight.
Of course.
Constant weight, and then like free immersion is something like which comes second, and I think that's pretty much
the least
true.
Athletic, I feel. So some people steer away from it because of those reasons.
But it's cool. It's it's pretty cool. Like
it's slow, so it requires a long breath hold. It's much slower.
She's looking very relaxed and comfortable in this descent.
Yeah, and the time is good. It's 60 meters now, 1 minute 13, so it's pretty good speed for the girl.
It's faster than I get down there, to be honest.
Yeah, she's looking great. Well, for those of you who don't know, I want to just get in some little accolades here for Adam and Alexi. Adam is the current champion of Australia in constant weight, and he's a great personality that is always funny, and I made sure that he was cleaning up his language for our broadcast here today.
I have been known to have a foul mouth.
He tends to be rather colorful, and then
let's just call it rather Australian.
And then Alexei Molchanov is our deepest man currently in the world, constant weight diver, 129 meters, which, by the way, he does extremely easily, much to the rest of our chagrin when we watch these dives and say, how does he do that?
Much to the the rest of our despair is what you're trying to say, Carl.
Right.
So
I just want to comment her turn. If you saw, like, it seems like it's the second diver I see now. Like, they turn pretty, like, they look a bit surprised at the bottom when they reach the bottom plate. So
she must have been really relaxed.
Yeah,
and
she
then
must have
just
been
came
or relaxed, or they didn't have alarms like 5-10 meters before the turn. So that's what I do. I have alarm 10 meters before the bottom plate.
That's a good point, Alexei. Very good.
Because then you're less like tense and stressed when you get to the bottom plate.
Well, also the narcosis can be stronger on a free immersion dive, so they may not be paying attention as much as they would on previous dives or other dives.
For sure, yeah, sure. But she looks good. It's 80 meters and she's pulling really relaxed.
I'm expecting this to be strong, so let's see what it looks like when she comes up here.
10 meters below the surface now.
Yeah.
I think she looks very fresh.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like you're at this point wondering, she's probably thinking to herself, why didn't I announce a deeper dive?
I think she's saving herself for the dive that she wants to do in constant weight.
Yeah, and here she is. She's going to take off her nose clip. She's acting as if she's sitting on a park bench at this moment. I'm okay.
And smiling.
Smiling. She's very, this is like, I just turned around and bought an ice cream and I'm feeling just great.
An absolute walk in the park.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now she'll just wait for the decision from the judges. Looked very clean to me, looked clean from our position here, and we'll see what the judges have to say.
3-minute dive time, which is, I mean, that's a fairly long dive time for a 75-meter free motion dive.
Yeah, I think
she took her time coming up.
Certainly.
Ascent was a bit slower than it could be.
Yeah. I think she was just relaxed, so she looked like she wasn't concerned at all with it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So, judges seem to be discussing something. I'm not sure what. But
Just give her a white card. Come on, judges.
Oh gosh, yeah, this is the competitor's point of view here.
Right.
Yeah, just give her, stop, look at, they're holding her, they're having some kind of an issue here. I don't know what it is.
I can't.
Something, we didn't see it, whatever it was, so.
It was something, I think, it looks like there was some mistake on the protocol, or?
Maybe.
Alright, well, there's 1 minute and 30 seconds until the
Well,
next
for us, she definitely did the dive easy. Like,
Yes, yes. It wasn't that, she may have had just a mental error. She might have been too relaxed. Sometimes that can happen if you're too relaxed and you're too casual about your protocol. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like red,
now, for
but
those,
it's probably one of those reds
probably,
which should
yeah,
be
I
white.
think it was a red card. So anyway, let's explain to our audience what happens at that moment. If you get a red card and you don't think you deserve a red card, what do we do then?
Well, an athlete can protest the judge's decision, and I mean whether that decision gets overturned or not will be based on, I suppose, a review of the video footage and the case that the athlete makes. It can go for or against you.
But it's like, I think now, like from what I understand, AIDA is moving towards making rules more friendly to the athlete, right?
We're trying.
That's the goal.
I think, yeah.
Alex, are you just taking this moment to say this live? Or?
No, but that's true. Like, that's what we should do.
He's always petitioning to me. So Carla, can we change this rule? The one that we had a big, it was so funny at Vertical Blue.
Yes. That's what
We had a debate over the fact that he lost his tag on the way up, and he kept saying, "But Carla, what if you saw it on the film? But Carla, I did have it. But Carla." And
I just try, and it's not even like, I don't care about my red cards so much because I have so many of them doing all possible mistakes like in the sport. So I don't really care about myself.
All possible mistakes. I had a pretty hilarious mistake the other day that I don't know if you've done before.
Okay, wait for a sec. There is Jennifer Wayland diving.
She's doing 82 meters in a dive time of 3:15. She's starting on the white platform.
Now she's definitely a medal contender for this competition. I mean, it would depend on what the other women do, but she's definitely announced to dive deep enough that she can get a medal.
Yeah, Jennifer is from Germany, but she's been training in Egypt, and she's really come on the last year or so and really increased her depths. So we've seen, the first time I had met her a couple years ago, she was kind of doing more pool events and things like that, and she recently has really stepped up her depth training. So I'm really happy to see that. As I was explaining to our viewers earlier, that for those people who live in interior areas of Europe, as Alessia does, depth training is not easily accessible.
No.
Even for us in Australia, we don't get great depth conditions.
Yeah, we don't have it in California. Yeah, we don't have it in California.
But Jennifer was training in Dahab, as I understand, a lot. I saw her myself when I was in May, and she was training a lot there.
Janet, she's got her fingers running through the dive line as she free falls, which is, I think, it's something that I do for a sense of comfort and so that I can also close my eyes and completely relax. I'm just making assumptions here as to why she's doing it, but it's a nice and comforting technique.
But I would say, like, the way she bent her arm now, like, it's slowed down the speed a little bit.
It definitely slows the speed down for sure.
Yeah.
But it's you sacrifice speed for extra relaxation.
But look at the depth and the time is pretty okay, so it means probably that she has quite some weight.
She's wearing a lot of weight. Yeah.
She have enough, like, a lot of weight.
She's at 72 meters now in 125, so she's making good progress.
She is.
Yeah. So. She's moving around the line a little bit. She's really relaxed. She's nice and straight though. But looking at here, she comes into the canyon.
So this was an example of a good turn. This was an example of their.
That was a very nice turn. Yeah.
And she's coming up a bit faster than we saw before. Is she holding the tag in her hand? I didn't see her put it anywhere.
Yeah, she might be, which can be difficult sometimes, And some people just do that. There was one guy that I judged, an American guy that was doing CNF and kept it in his teeth.
I thought about that. Yeah. I think it's a great idea. Except for you when you do your recovery with it.
Yeah.
So we get a little of everything, but we do have them be Velcro so that you can stick them onto something. So
she's starting to lengthen out her strokes now.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alex? She seemed rushed in the beginning.
It seems like she's still in a hurry still now. Look, she's not as relaxed as previous divers, so I would be a little bit worried for her. Actually, what it's going to be on the surface. I mean, she looks a bit tense, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's using quite a bit of effort, I think, to get it. And she should be coming into positive buoyancy here.
Yes.
But both safeties are there.
It might be the weight that she's wearing. It does seem like she
Yeah.
has a big neck weight on, although it's hard to tell from this footage.
Yeah, that's one of those things, buoyancy, that sometimes can be difficult, you know, and whether you want to go down faster or come back faster. You have to decide what your desire is.
Okay.
Here she comes. All right, she's looking a little, she's a little wobbly, trying to hang on. She's powering through it.
Definitely a good fight on the surface.
Yeah,
here.
she definitely had to fight too for that one, and I.
Look, the depth is increasing.
Oh, nice. Then we'll have Estrella come in here. Let's wait and see what the car. Yeah, come over here, Estrella. You sit here with the boys. We want you in the picture, not me. So we're waiting to see here what happens. That was a little bit of a struggle, and we couldn't exactly tell from our angle. We're trying to see here if Jennifer was able to get herself through that.
And it looks like a
she
white
did,
card.
And it looks like she did. Yeah, it wasn't
She's
easy.
happy.
Yeah, Alexia and Adam were commenting that it looked like she was coming up a little stressed and it was a little difficult for her. Okay, now over on the blue line, coming up, we're going to have Jessie Mu of China.
She'll be fighting for the medals for sure.
Yeah, she is definitely in the medal hunt. She's announced 86 meters at 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Jessie has become a very strong diver in the last couple of years. The Chinese are really coming strong, and it's a huge sport for them in China. We have actually thousands of divers in the Chinese clubs there. It's amazing. We have all these judges. They're having competitions. It's just been an amazing progression. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Estrella Navarro home from Mexico, and Estrella's going to give us a little discussion. Tell us how that dive felt, Estrella.
Well, I felt it very nice. I enjoyed it. It was not easy. I think like probably look, under the water was fun, but this morning I had a huge headache, and I was feeling like probably because of dehydration. Because last night, like I was probably nervous. I don't know, but I sweated. Like I did a similar dive in training, and it was easy. I was fresh. I came out with some samba, like shaking. You saw it.
Yeah, we saw a little shaking. Yeah, a little shaking.
I think it was because of that, no? And being nervous, the competition, and also being dehydrated. But then it was a white card. I'm very happy. It's a national record. It's a personal best.
Excellent.
So
Congratulations.
it was a good dive. Yes.
I was telling our viewers about the important things in your life, being a marine biologist, and your conservation efforts in La Paz and the Sea of Cortez and that area, which is extremely important to you, and also a lot of free divers.
All right. And Jessie Lu is about to descend.
Yeah, let's
Jessie
switch
Lu's
back
ready
to
to
the Jessie Lu and her. Yeah, she announced
She's
dive
86
time.
meters.
Her dive times should be
It's quite a long dive time. but
3:48.
Jessie Lu has an exceptional breath hold.
Yeah, she has over an 8 minute static. So Jessie has always been a very slow diver, and we've been kind of working on it actually, trying to get her to speed up a little bit, because you can tell she's moving along quite well.
here
right
you can see that she's trying to be fast. Yes.
Yes.
Do you know, I have to say, I was living and training with Jessie for Vertical Blue 2016, and I think that she is the most talented, naturally talented freediver I've ever come across.
Really?
In terms of this exceptional breath hold, that it seems, at least, that she does no training for.
Don't you hate that?
Right? So much.
Yeah. Oh,
But
gosh.
she's a very, very talented and very good freediver.
And, you know, just on a side note, for those of you who may not know a lot about our sport, most of our divers have a profession, and Jessie Lu is a scientist. She has a PhD. She does research on for medical research and pharmaceuticals. She lives in Hawaii, but she is Chinese, and she trains in Hawaii, so she does have access to depth and good, nice depth, warm water, clear water. So she has that advantage, and she bought a house there.
She pulled herself quite deep in
did.
that dive. She only started her free fall, I
Yeah.
suppose, at 50 meters, which is quite a deep
For
depth.
girls. Like when I pull, I would start free fall after 40-50 as well.
Yeah, but that's because you're such a buoyant fellow.
Yeah, I'm a buoyant fellow. And I don't have any weights, so on my dives I don't use any weights.
It has nothing to do
And it looks like she's
with all the chocolate he eats.
No, or the
No.
turkey legs or anything else. Yes. Yes.
Alright, we're approaching the bottom.
Yeah, and here she comes. She's looking up there now. She's prepared for her turn.
Oh, looks like she
She
actually
definitely has some issues with equalization, I think.
Yeah.
You can see she was tensing her legs just before the bottom two,
Yes.
trying to slow herself down.
Yeah.
and she helps with the no fins.
Yes.
So maybe.
I think with Jessie, it's never really a concern with breath hold. It's just a matter of her equalization skill at the time.
Well, she's still quite new, you know, in the sport,
That's
and
true.
And I know she's had some trouble at depth, and she's been trying to figure out if she needs to do like a little late reverse pack kind of thing, or if she needs to try to take a small additional mouth fill or one large mouth fill. You know, those things we need to work out when we're
Absolutely,
getting to these deeper depths where it becomes very complicated.
Tweaking her own
Yes,
equalization.
exactly. And she's been kind of going around in her head in conversations I've had with her about how she can get past these equalizations. So she may still be kind of working on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with this dive, even though she has really big breath hold, like if you struggle with equalization, you get tense and you get really like strong narcosis, it can still lead to become a very hard and hypoxic dive. So.
Yeah, we definitely have to stress how much that stress and tension can affect negatively a dive and how it can increase your hypoxia.
So good when the safety arrives.
Oh, you feel yeah, stress just mentioning that. We all feel like that. Oh, I'm almost there. Thank goodness. Yeah. How do you feel about everything here at Australia with the safety and our dive eye and everything? Are you enjoying this competition?
Well, this is amazing. Like, actually, I felt like company when I opened my eyes and I saw something in front. I said, like, oh, I feel safer because I'm being watched. Seriously, you had that psychological effect. I think that's great. And also, well, after like the last 30 meters, when you have the safety next to you, it's like not only.
Yeah.
Here comes Jessie up to the surface now. She's almost there. Let's watch her when she comes.
Surfacing now.
And there she is.
She's breathing.
She's taking off the nose clip.
She looks strong.
She's looking at the judges. Let's see. We're waiting.
She's facing the other way. I wonder if she is a little bit shaky.
We haven't seen. Did we see an okay sign?
I didn't see it yet.
Not yet.
It's a little slow. Who's her coach? Does she have one? Did she give a little sign?
In the opposite direction.
She's
waving to us.
She's fine. She's giving kisses, waving to us. So she's got no problem. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a white card. Good. Sometimes, you know, we can't see from here. We're not close enough, and we're blocked by someone
We've
else.
also got to fix up the camera angle here. I think it's shifted a little bit on the boat.
Okay.
This is the issue with, you know, working on the water.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So it was good she made that. That's a white card. Okay, coming up over here on the white
So
platform
this means
now.
that Jessie Mu is definitely going to receive a silver medal.
Yeah,
and
because she has the second deepest dive of the day. So coming up over here on the white part is Alessia Zucchini of Italy. We all got our first chance to really get to know Alessia at Vertical Blue this year. She had competed in the Cagliari team championships that we had a couple of years ago, but she had only been competing in CMAS events prior to this in Italy. So
doing a lot of training in Sharm el-Sheikh, as far as I'm aware.
Yes, but we, you know, she recently decided that she wanted to focus more on AIDA competitions, and because, you know, we are the coolest, deepest divers, so
being cool is very important for free divers.
But we need to mention that she damaged her arm several days ago, and she had like arm like double size.
A scooter accident.
From a scooter accident.
Off her scooter. Yeah, it was very bad timing for an
so
accident.
it'll be curious to see how she handles the free immersion.
Yeah. She said that I asked her, and she said, it was a problem. It looks like we're having a little issue here. We need to move a little bit. Things are shifting a little bit. Our boat needs to be moved a tad. You know, like Estrella was saying, we are on the ocean. Things are not.
You can go if you want. You can go.
Yeah. Thanks, Estrella.
Thank
you. Great dive. Congratulations. Congratulations on the national record.
I think Alessia, has she just started her dive?
Yeah, I think she just went down.
We're just finding her on the dive eye. There she is.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of a technical problem here with our boat, where our location is for dive eye is. Our drone here is moved, so we're a little bit further away than we were. We need to be shifted around a little So we apologize for not as good, but we can see Alessia. And what do you guys think here? Can you see?
47 and she free falls with the head down, with the arm arrow position.
I've never seen that before, to be honest.
I saw some people.
Not for such a deep dive, though.
No, that's like
beginners.
She's very flexible though.
Beginners
So
do that, yeah.
but she's very flexible, so for her that might be not a problem.
Well, the truth is that if you're comfortable in that position, you're going to be more comfortable free falling like that.
You'll be faster. Because the time
Look how fast she's getting down.
She's like the same speed as man usually, 1 meter per second.
70 meters for 70 seconds just a moment ago.
She's very thin as well, so she definitely is arrow-like in that.
Hydrodynamic.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
She has a beautiful free fall, you can see.
Yeah, and there she is already.
Wow, that was
fast. She's got
fast.
her tag. That was very fast. She's got her tag. She's coming up. That didn't. So let's see. That seemed very nice for her.
It seemed like was easy.
Yeah. So
she doesn't seem to have any issues with the arm that was injured a few days ago. She's pulling up quite strong and confidently.
With the left arm, you can see.
Wait, no, you see that little way?
Yeah, you can see the left arm. She didn't straighten up all the way, but she should be fine, and like it's almost recovered already.
I do remember once I did a dive where I waved at the camera, but I did black out on the surface. So
well, that's usually not a good thing.
Not a good sign.
If you wave or get distracted with the cameras or safeties, that means you're not as focused on the dive anymore.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's or too easy, or she got a little bit narked, which I think it's more like. It should be more like a confident dive for her.
I think this is quite an easy dive for her, and she's just having fun.
Yeah, she started off at vertical blue. This was the first dive she did, if you guys recall, that she was trying it for a world record. And I think, hi Jennifer. She's
been met by the first safety.
Yep. First safety, second safety is coming in kind of big burst, and. We'll finish this dive and see how she does, and then we've just had Jennifer Wayland join us on board, so we will have an interview with Jennifer. But let's see how Alessia finishes this dive first. We're moving a little bit more than we'd like to out here on our boat. We're a little further away than we were. We've got some waves.
She is just letting herself float up to the surface. And she has breached.
Respiro.
Turn around, look at the
Very
judges.
fresh.
Okay.
Protocol looks good.
Fine.
Protocol looks really good.
Definitely predicting a white card.
Yeah.
And the gold medal for Alessia Zucchini.
She's got a big smile on her face. She seems happy with that dive.
That's amazing.
Didn't look like it was hard. No. It's good. Yeah. It's nice to see her smiling. Great job.
And that is a gold medal for Alessia Zucchini.
Yes, there's no diver after her with a deeper dive, so that means that will be the gold medal, unless there's something unforeseen happens, some weird protest by another diver or something on the protocol.
Which we hope doesn't happen.
Yes, yeah. All right, Jennifer, please join us here. Come on over. Jennifer Wayland is joining us. She had a successful dive. Tell us about that dive. We noticed a little bit of a wobble at the end, a little wobbling. And,
well, yeah. It felt safer than it actually looked like, I guess, in the end. The way down was really nice. There was some cone, I would say, like for 5 meters somewhere where I lost position, but the rest was totally fine. I had loads of air for more equalization. So
beautiful.
I was really happy at the touchdown, and actually way up was also nice. So I don't know where that came from in the end. Maybe. Of course, I was a little nervous before. Yes. It's a big competition, big dive. Now it's the free immersion national record. It's as deep as the constant weight. So
that's great. That's great.
Well, hopefully not for long. Let's see what I can do in 3 days. We'll see. But I actually enjoyed the dive a lot. So
good.
And it felt stronger than it might have looked.
Good. How are you enjoying this competition overall?
It's so well organized so far. I'm really happy how safe you can feel here. There's so much stress on the safety. it really helps me really to get to my to the edge of what I can do.
Yeah.
Because I know even if things go wrong, people are there, everything is there. And
we've told our judges, we've told everyone, our number one priority is safety. That's the most important thing. All right, we're going to be starting on the blue platform now.
Yeah, let's go back to Sofia.
Sofia Gomez Uribe.
Yeah, she's diving 86 meters and 3 minutes 2:20 is her announced time.
Sofia is from Colombia. She is the Colombian champion. She has been diving extremely well the last couple of years. She's in the 90s in constant weight. She did over 80 meters with bifins. She recently did a CMAS record.
84.
Yeah, 84 meters, which is really strong. And here goes Sofia. So Alexia and Adam and Jenny, let us know what you think about this dive for Sofia.
Well, it looks like she actually have pretty good speed, and she's pulling pretty confidently and fast.
The thing about Sofia is that she's a very consistent performer.
That's important.
Every competition she attends, she will always pull out very big dives, and she does them confidently. So I feel like I'm anticipating the same thing here.
As Alessia.
Yes.
Yeah, the same thing. And the time is good. She's almost 1 meter per second.
Sofia is coached by her partner boyfriend Jonathan Sunex, who is an AIDA instructor trainer. I have to get a plug in here for AIDA. And he is known as one of our best coaches and a coach specialty in deep equalization. And once that they got together, I met Sofia the first time at the first Caribbean Cup. I competed in here. She competed. She was a fin swimmer, an excellent fin swimmer, record holder in Colombia, but she didn't know how to dive. She was diving 30 meters, something like that, and she hooked up with Johnny, and it changed her world as far as freediving goes.
So there you go. Find the right partner, and the world opens to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the strange things I noticed that she was holding a hand next to the mouth till 50 plus meters. So that definitely affects the speed and slows down.
Alexia, as the deepest equalizer here, do you want to tell everyone why she may have been holding her lips like that?
She comes to the plane.
Probably
she's having a little trouble, but she's got a tag.
Oh, she spends too much time on the bottom.
I'm not sure what that delay was about.
I think she was just trying to make sure the tag got in her hood properly.
Not to repeat my mistake when I lost my tag.
This is why I don't put it in the hood. I just put it on my hip and it's secure.
Yeah, we were wondering. Oh, we have
it's
to
still
have
there. I couldn't get it off because it's still there.
Okay, I have to have it back, by the way. Thank you so much.
You can have it.
It looks like she pulls pretty.
Here's what the tags look like. They say AIDA on them. And this is this is the prize everyone's trying to get.
It looks like she's pulling pretty confidently and strong up.
Like
For the reason why she would hold the mouth would probably be just something to help hold the mouth feel, I guess, if you have problems like.
It seems like she's putting a lot of pressure in her mouth, and it helps keep the pressure from escaping her lips.
Maybe that. So that can be like something she could improve to get a bit more speed, probably in the future.
But her dive time is okay. It seems okay.
That time is good.
You know, she's just recently started free immersion. Like you guys, it was not her favorite thing. So
it's nobody's favorite thing.
It's no one's favorite thing.
She's just decided recently to give it a go and started working on it. So I think when you have that attitude as well, I'm going to do this, and you know, I'm a good diver. I know I can do it, but you don't really love it.
That's right.
It's kind of a hill you have to overcome a little bit. So, but she's such a strong diver that.
Yeah, and she still looks strong right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a clean dive, I would say.
Right, 10 meters below the surface. If we are going to see any signs of hypoxia, this is where we usually start to see it.
Yeah, last 10 meters.
Yeah, and here she comes. There she is.
Breathing.
Get up.
She's hypoxic, but she's all right.
She's okay. Johnny is coaching her. Telling her what to do. Don't worry about the tag.
Keep on breathing.
She was still worried about the tag.
She dropped the tag on the surface.
Yeah, don't worry about the tag. No, you don't want to reach down and grab the tag. You may dip, and that would be a disqualification. That is a very silly mistake that sometimes happens, and I hate to give red cards for that.
That's right.
And we're waiting for the judge's decision.
Once those airways come up out of the water, you have to keep them out of the water.
Up. There it is. It's a white
card. Beautiful. So it looks like so far we have Alessia Zucchini with the gold medal, and then a shared silver medal for Sofia Gomez and Jessie Mu.
Yeah, All right, and coming up now on the white platform, we have Saori Kinoshita of Japan, and her depth, Alexi, is going
85 meters.
85 meters.
3 minutes 20 dive time, which is strong time as well.
Saori is a very strong diver. Yes. For those of us who have been watching her the last 2 years,
with amazement,
amazingly strong. Yes, I'm okay. Every dive, and just. She is our current world record holder in constant no fins, which is arguably the most difficult discipline of what we have.
I can agree to that.
Yes. It's a lot of swimming. It is hard. You don't have any help from the rope or from a fin. It's all your own power, and she is our current world record holder.
It's hard physically.
Yes.
It's probably it's a very easy discipline regarding depth and narcosis and equalization, but it's physically a harder discipline for sure.
It's the one where you'll see the most hypoxia on.
Yeah, you will see the hypoxia.
Yeah. So Saori has been, at Vertical Blue this year, she was really kind of focusing, I think, more on free immersion than constant weight than she has in the past. This dive she's doing today would be a Japanese national record. She's trying to increase her own record. And she did not do an attempt to add to her no fins record this year. I haven't seen her training a lot of no fins.
Well, I think the Japanese team have been training in secret in the afternoons for that reason in particular.
Nobody knew what they were doing.
Nobody knows what the Japanese girls have been doing.
We are missing one of our main competitors from Japan here at this competition, who is Hanoko Hirose. I don't know why Hanoko didn't come. She was a very, very strong diver at Vertical Blue this year. She did 103 meters. Just got beat out by 1 meter by Alessia for the women's world record in constant weight, but these girls are incredibly strong.
And Saori begins.
And here goes Saori.
Saori is pretty, how would you say, not very tall.
No,
she's a very short woman.
Yeah, so it's really amazing how well she can dive so deep, like.
But you know, Alexi, I always say of all the women competitors, she has the thighs most like yours of
That
anyone.
is exactly right.
Yeah.
Right.
I look at her and I say that's the female version of Alexi's legs.
Those are constant weight legs right there.
They are, absolutely.
And the height is not important, I would say, in freediving.
Except you don't have as long of a, you have to go closer to the plate, so you have to go about a meter further. Like somebody who's really tall, like Dave Mullins, he doesn't have to go as far.
No,
that's right.
But
it's
you
a
have
2 meter reach.
Yeah.
You have a smaller body, you have less oxygen also usage, so it's fine. We had examples of really like strong divers. Sarah Campbell, for example. Sarah Campbell,
tiny.
Tiny, and really.
She's looking very controlled on this free fall.
Yeah.
So you can see that arms down, her free falls is 10 seconds slower than Alessia Zucchini, but
she seems to be controlling her direction with her feet as well.
Yeah, that's what I do actually too. I think it's something which comes from swimming.
For sure.
Yeah, she was a swimmer before too, Alex, like we were, so she's got that. Yeah. Something you learn that you just kind of do instinctively.
All right, here we are approaching the bottom.
Yeah, here we're coming to the plate. There's the candy cane.
Grabs a tag.
She's getting her tag.
In the hood.
In the hood. And coming back up.
There we go.
So she's at 150, coming up on 77 meters.
So if she makes this dive, this would place her in the bronze medal position?
If we have a tie for silver, there is no bronze medal.
Okay, so the bronze medal's been taken out then?
Yeah, because it goes by how many places of people ahead of you. So if 3 people beat you, then that makes you 4th.
Yes.
Okay, so that's standard placing for the Olympics or any sport. It's just, and you know, we're trying to be high status professionals here, so we don't want to just hand out medals. Like
don't we look professional, Carl?
Yeah. No, but you know, I think we've had in the past, sometimes they think, oh, just give everybody a medal. No, absolutely. This isn't children. We're beyond that.
What I like about her technique is she has a very nice glide between each of her strokes.
She have good glide and she have good tempo.
Looks very relaxed.
Yep. the safeties have an easy time on the free immersion day because the athletes are all coming up rather slow.
Yeah.
On the constant weight day, I feel like the safety divers have to really keep up with us.
Look at this safety.
He's blocking our
He's
camera.
blocking the view. And,
Oh.
and he don't have. Yeah, and his aero position is not great, so we don't want to. We want to see the diver.
He's not as graceful as Saori.
Yeah.
She's just kind of pulling up with both hands and just. Like she's completely.
She's really enjoying it.
Yeah, she
Definitely.
seems to be. Yeah, here she is. Let's take a look
And
at
she's
her.
on the surface.
We have another cameraman in our way.
She's very clean.
Yeah.
She's
Very
Yeah,
clean.
very clean. That looks good. Excellent. Great. And now let's see what her card is.
Should be wide.
Should be.
We'll have a break after this for half an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah,
Carla
we're gonna
can take more interviews if you want.
Yeah, I think they're actually gonna turn it off, but we'll see. But otherwise, we've got Johnny here too, and we'll have Johnny.
White card.
White card.
for Saori. Nice job.
I'm gonna leave you now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It can be on. You can do.
Okay, if you wanna,
Johnny, you can.
if you wanna come on over, Johnny. Let's,
Jonathan Sunix has just arrived.
Okay, so now there's.
Sit down here.
No. That's a good time to do interviews.
Yeah.
During their.
I know.
Make sure it's like 1 minute only.
Come on over. Come on over here, Johnny. Yeah, you guys can. Yeah, you guys. Why don't? Yeah. Well, no. Here, you guys sit down, and I'll be over here. I can interview you, and you guys can be in the picture.
Johnny, tell us. Sit down.
I wanted to put my t-shirt on.
Okay. Where is it? So now we have half an hour break, and then we have Tomoko. Tomoko diving 10:42, and she will do a deep dive of 80 meters, which is her national record. But I think, oh no, it's not. It doesn't say national record here in the list. No, sorry. Saori is for sure a national record holder. But Tomoko was asking us on the boat. She was coming with us to the competition site, and she was asking me what is the secret of free immersion. That was interesting. She had 2 trainings before that, she said, so it was interesting to see how she will do a relatively deep dive of 80 meters and without too much practice. T-shirt. Where's the t-shirt?
Can't get it. It's on the other boat.
Okay, Johnny, tell us about how was the Sofia's dive. We can see that it was hypoxic on the surface, and we can see some strange mouth holding till 55 meters. What do you, could you tell us a bit some of your secret deep equalization technique?
I don't know what you're talking about, Alexei.
We saw everything. That's why we have dive eye. We saw everything. So she was holding her mouth, or holding mouthfeel. Is it because she cannot hold it without the hand, or it's escaping or something?
Well, it helps both. Okay, it makes it easier to hold a larger charge,
Right.
and it helps the facial muscles relax.
But then it slows down the speed, right?
This is true.
So
But okay, so hypoxia was an issue today, not really because of the dive time or anything. She was extremely nervous before the dive, to
looked
the
like
point
she was-
to the point where she was trying to vomit.
She spent about 4 seconds on the bottom fiddling around with the tag in her hood.
Yeah, she was
I think that certainly didn't help.
She was nervous on the bottom, and we could see her while she was preparing for the dive that she's tense on the line before the start. It wasn't even. I think on the surface she did really well. She was worried about the tag.
She did great to hold it together. Considering 10 minutes before the dive, she was over there trying to throw up.
Sophie's had some pretty big freediving accomplishments before, but this is her first individual world championship, and this will be her first medal.
Yeah, it will.
So I can understand the nerves.
Yeah, and I guess it's one of those things that somebody like yourself that's been to multiple world championships and you've had individual world record attempts, you become more conditioned to it. Sophie's attended many competitions, but this is the first world champs. She's had just the one record attempt, and she does get nervous at times, despite the fact that she can do these dives.
Well, that's natural.
It's natural, but
Also,
I think with time
I
it's
heard
gonna...
rumours that her coach says nasty things to her when she turns early, so...
Shit.
Yeah, she gets in big trouble with her coach.
He'll punish her later, right? She gets punished. No, but
No comment.
today she'll be rewarded probably. Maybe.
She made it a little bit harder on me than needed to be.
I noticed that you were doing protocol for her in Spanish, right? So you were saying respira, like in Spanish.
Yes. So, let's say somebody's hypoxic. This is just my theory. I think that somebody's more likely to listen to their first language than to their second language.
That's true.
It'll just stand out a little bit clearer. I don't speak more than one language, so maybe someone like yourself.
Oh, Johnny, I mean, you've been with Sofia for quite a while now. How is your Spanish progressing?
Slowly. Very slowly. I progress maybe 2 or 3 words a month.
Okay.
Or a year.
Tell us, how do you feel about the recovery breathing and hook breathing? Because I noticed Sofia was hook breathing on the surface. Do you think it's like the way to, like, we should keep it in, like, what do you think about this technique now?
Well, I've got a feeling you've got a different philosophy to me. I think
I'm very accepting any philosophy, right? So
okay, so
it can be anything.
So the reason why I'm an advocate of it is that I've seen it work. Like, I've seen, I don't know if I should name the diver, but in vertical blue, I've seen someone having a massively strong samba, but with strong hook breathing. I saw it prevent him from blacking out.
Was it a samba immediately after surfacing, or was the samba starting like several seconds after the surfacing?
You trying to identify the diver?
No, I'm trying to think, because because sometimes like hook breathing make it slower to recover, like it's a slower tempo of breathing.
Okay, so but it's also increasing the blood pressure to the brain.
It does, but it's a slower oxygen delivery too at the same time.
So it's a stronger hit but a slower hit. Is that what we're getting at here?
Yeah. So it can be like if the samba starts like 5 seconds later, it might be. I'm not saying. I'm not sure yet. Like in my opinion, like faster breathing is more beneficial, but it's like hook breathing is more is practice with a lot of people use, and it's.
I've seen you breathing after your dives, like without holding on to that.
No,
just breathing it in and that passively.
I try to do it faster, so it's like, so it's faster recovery, like, and it'll be interesting to observe like athletes on the next competitive days for girls today and for guys next days to see
do you think
what helps what.
Do you think the case would just be your body becomes used to what you do in repetition, or do you think one tick is truly superior to the other?
I think we'd only know by taking a reasonably large group of people and getting them to compare from day to day.
Yeah.
Competition is probably the best time to do that because people are on the edge. Yeah. But yeah, how do you feel that it's more effective for you? Have you ever found yourself being on the edge and then recovering from that?
I do. Yeah, I feel that for me this faster breathing works really well, but. I also saw athletes, like you say, hook breathing and then recovering pretty well too. So just I'm curious. I'm looking at athletes now and trying to get some more observation about it.
I'll tell you what, guys, we have Alessia Zucchini and Jessie Mu on the media buds now. We might call them over to get them to chat on screen.
Come, Alessia. Yeah. Anything else that you can tell us?
Anything else? Don't believe everything that Alessia tells you.
As well as Johnny, like he might say that he teaches deep equalization clinic, but he keeps all the secrets for himself, for sure. Not for himself, for Sofia.
I save 1 or 2 for myself.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
I'll see you guys later.
Good
Johnny will be coming back on for a bit of commentary in the second round of this competition.
I might commentate on these guys diving.
Yeah, we'll be diving tomorrow, so Johnny might be.
So stay tuned and we'll find out all of their secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got no secrets left.
Yeah, you will need to do a salva tomorrow, not to give away the secrets of deep friends of Pata. Okay, thank you, Johnny. Okay. Oh, Jessie, come here. You're free. You are free, and you can tell us. So you are a silver medal.
Joint silver medalist.
Joint silver medalist. Tell us how was the dive? It did feel like, from our point of view, it felt like it seemed really relaxed and really confident.
Except, would we be right in guessing there was some equalization problems?
Yes.
At the bottom, yeah.
Yes.
I was at the end my equalization. How did you know?
We can see on the diver right here, you were like stretching and trying, like
the last
meters trying to reach.
That 5 meters away, we saw your legs start to splay a little bit, as in there was a bit of tension and it seemed like you were trying to slow yourself down.
Yeah. Good observation.
There are no more secrets now, Jessie, now that we have the dive eye.
Yeah, so it's a PB dive for me.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
How much meters deeper than your previous PB?
1 meter.
1 meter, okay.
Today in Curving Cup I did 85, that was PB as well.
Okay.
So I'm super excited about this dive. I think on the way up I was feeling super relaxed. I remember I had a little problem at the bottom grabbing the tag. I think I tried twice. But for me, the ascent part is always the most relaxing part. Really, it's hard physically, but mentally I feel I'm in another universe, and that's really beautiful, and it's different
Like
from...
you have narcosis already, a little bit of narcosis. So
Could be narcosis, could be dive reflex.
Dive reflex too.
Yeah.
Do you
strong blood shift, like strong blood shift.
Yeah.
So. Do you allow the narcosis to take over a little bit, or do you try to stay in control?
I try to let everything just happen to me. I try to just enjoy the feelings.
So you accept everything which happens.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So on the surface, I was very happy.
That's very good.
Yeah.
It was fantastic to watch you dive.
Thank you very much. I mean,
we were explaining about your breath hold. How long is your breath hold and everything?
Thank you. It's my first time coming to the World Championship, and considering I'm still a new competitive diver in this arena, it's such an honor to be able to compete with the world's best divers here and just learn.
Well, Jessie, now you are one of the world's best divers.
Yeah, it's your silver. It's a silver medal.
You're a silver medalist.
Thank you very much. It's it's a surprise. Super happy about it. And then I think I'll just maybe try some easy, nice, comfortable dives from here on and just enjoy the competition.
So you'll not push other disciplines, or you will? How are you going to do no fins or constant weight?
Constant weight, I'll just do an easy, nice dive, or maybe even just rest, depending on how I feel.
Sure.
But for the no fins, it's kind of like a personal thing, because last year I had my first ocean blackout, and it's still the only one, which was doing a no fin 63-meter dive.
Okay.
It's kind of a personal challenge that I want to one day redo that dive. But if I feel up for it, I might try it on this competition.
Do you feel like the blackout has affected you since then? Or?
It definitely teaches me a lesson, and it's all about getting to know the body, getting to myself. So obviously there was a disconnect in my body and mind when I announced that dive, and that led to a blackout.
This was in Vertical Blue 2016?
Vertical Blue last year, yes. Yeah. So from there on, I tried to pay more attention to what my body's actually feeling, and also figure out my weightings and technique a little bit more. Although this year I have not really done any training in that range. My PB is still 60, but I feel that I would like to see if the technique work has helped me to do better dives in the no-fin discipline. So.
It should, if you do technique.
We'll see.
Sure.
Well, I mean, your constant weight PB so far is 85. So I mean, it's definitely up there, but it's just probably outside of the medal contention range.
Definitely outside.
Yeah. So it definitely might be a wise decision to use that dive as a bit of a rest, as a bit of just like have a beautiful dive experience and prepare yourself for the constant no fins day.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's so important to actually enjoy the dive.
I don't like it either.
Thank you for
so
sharing
much
with us.
Thank you guys for doing the comments, and
very welcome.
Yeah.
We have Saori
Kinoshita coming here.
Okay.
Saori, are you free to explain? Yeah.
Come and tell the world.
We're live now. Yeah,
this is all live.
This is all live.
No pressure.
Thank you, Jessie. Yeah, this is the camera.
Well, thank you to my good friends in China, especially to Xuanpu Xuan, all my students and my colleagues in China, and my sponsor Best Dive in China.
It's a good time actually to say thank you to the sponsors and friends and parents and partners.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's a beautiful day out here, so look forward to more dives coming up. Yeah, and then let's have Saori.
Saori, come
Saori,
here.
come sit down.
Thank you, Jessie.
Thank you, Jessie. And congratulations again.
Yep. It's actually 7 minutes before Tomoko dive.
Okay,
it's
so we're 7 minutes until the next dive, and we are joined now by Saori Kinoshita. So you might have to get a little bit closer to us, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Alex has
this
big
is the
legs,
camera.
but
You can. We just said to Jessie that you can say hello to your friends, to your family, to the camera. Use it as like an online moment of glory or something. You can speak Japanese.
Japan is at midnight.
Midnight.
can watch you in the morning.
I'm sure everybody's just still watching live stream because everybody's cheering for you.
風邪ひいたけど潜れたよ。
tell us about your dive.
My dive was so nice.
You looked very comfortable and very strong.
But my sinus was so horrible. So I was worried about my sinus.
So ear equalization was good, but the sinuses was not good.
Not good. I hear the sound. I was worried about that. Just try. I was like, just try.
Have you been living in a house with aircon? Have you been staying in a house with air conditioning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be challenging.
You need to block the air conditioning for freedom. Okay. And we saw there way up in the surfacing you were not even hypoxic. You were like super fresh.
I didn't feel.
You didn't feel. Good. So now the limitation for you is only equalization. Is it correct?
Well, I mean,
yeah, I think so.
But I mean, I wouldn't say it's a very big limitation, given that you did 96 meters constant weight in vertical blue earlier this year, right?
Right.
97. Sorry, 97. So it's not like you have
sinus equalization.
Sinus equalization is a
This time.
problem.
This time is not as good.
No.
Well, we've all been speculating about what the Japanese team are up to because they all train in secret in the afternoon.
No, it's not secret. We are just talking about. Yeah. We were so how do you say? Talk too much. So if there are many athletes, we have to
be quiet.
So.
That's why. So you don't want to distract other people with your loud talking. But that's true. In vertical blue, I can confirm that the Japanese team was always the loudest one. When they train, it's like there is like. It's like I don't know. You watch their Japanese anime or something, or
Hanako definitely. Hanako, I feel like I'm watching Pokemon again.
Pokemon, yeah, something like Pokemon.
Yes, Pikachu.
Exactly, Hanako is Pikachu. Yes.
Teletubbies. Teletubbies would be good too.
Teletubbies.
I know.
Thank you, Saori. We're going to introduce our doctor.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and congratulations on your beautiful dive.
Bye. Maybe Hanako is watching.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. We got warning by judge that we're too loud, and that's again connected to the Japanese athlete. That's why the Japanese athlete is so loud. The Japanese athlete is so loud.
We got our first diver here on
It's
the
not
blue.
us. It's Japanese. It's Sayuri.
We just speak at the volume of the athlete.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
on the blue platform coming up, we have Tomoko Fukuda. She's doing an 80-meter dive with a 3-minute dive time.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes before official top, and we have Sofia here.
Yeah.
You want to tell us shortly? Like you have 2 minutes to tell us about your dive.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes before official top.
Hola, where's the camera?
So there's a camera. You can say hello to your
Hola
sponsors.
a mi mamá y a mi papá y a my sponsor. Yay.
Is it your mom and papa?
No, this is my sponsor.
Okay. Maybe it's their company. I'm not sure.
This is a bank.
This is the bank. Maybe it's their bank.
No, I wish.
How was your dive, Sophie?
Well, my dive was really nice, but before the dive I was feeling really sick.
We had reports that you were almost vomiting.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, ugh.
Because of anxiety, or was it like nervousness? What is it?
My stomach is feeling really weird, but I think also it was more like I'm not feeling 100%, but I was really nervous. So
all together.
But
you did really well. You did really.
Yeah.
Control your.
Yeah, because Johnny was looking at me.
emotions
Johnny was looking at me with a really disappointed face, and he was like, "Do you want to DNS?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to."
You knew that if you DNS, you would be punished.
You'd be in big trouble.
Yeah,
All right,
sure. But I did it. And
Sophie, you were on the bottom for about 3 or 4 seconds fiddling around with the tag. Was there something in particular that went on, or?
Yeah, I was trying to put my tag in the hood, inside the hood, and I couldn't. And I figured out, okay, I can just put it in my hand and just come up with it in the hand.
So you kept it in your head?
Yeah,
your hand.
I kept it in my hand.
That's why you almost lost it on the surface?
Yes.
Okay.
I lost it and I was like, oh, I can't lose it. So,
Yeah. Well, congratulations. It was really strong dive.
Yeah, silver medal. Good work.
Silver medal.
yeah, silver medal.
And you can now, it can actually, like, you can use it as a reassurance of your, like, strength for next dives. Like,
Yes.
you can be more calm for
Yes,
next dives.
I-
You have experience
yeah.
now with their individual championships.
Definitely takes the pressure off.
It takes the pressure off. I did this and for the next dives, it's just a matter of just enjoying what I'm doing and nothing else matters now.
Alright, so
Good.
we have
Congratulations.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we have 30 seconds to the next diver, so we'll switch to her.
Would you like to watch Tomoko and make a few comments while she's diving and watch her on the dive line and tell us what you think about her technique?
Yeah.
That'd be great, Sophie.
Thank you.
So Tomoko is preparing, and as I was saying, she was with us on the boat with Adam, and she was asking us how to do free immersion. that was funny, I think. But she's a strong diver.
What was it?
What is her personal best? Do you know? Is it 80?
Her personal best is 81.
81. Okay.
She did it in vertical blue, I think. It was the year when her and Sayuri were fighting for the national record.
Okay.
And I think Tomoko is really strong and really strong mentally because she can just decide she's going to do a dive that she maybe hasn't done in the whole season, and she just goes and do it.
She's pulling down very quickly with a lot of strength.
Yes.
Sophia, is there a specific number of pulls that you do until you start your free fall, or do you just feel it out?
I have a specific number of pulls. Today actually I did one more pull before I started my
Free fall.
free fall. But I tried to start my free fall at 30 meters.
Once again, the Jonathan Sunix technique of putting your fingers to the center of your mouth feel.
You can see Tomoko is doing the same thing. Maybe she took Johnny's masterclass.
Yeah,
she did.
You can identify these athletes right away.
Yes, the Sunix athletes.
Yeah, the Sunix of the. Yeah. You will not see us doing that, right?
Now she's pulling again.
Because you've got a big mouth.
You got a big mouth.
You don't need it.
I'm getting the impression
just really
she
like
looks she's not super comfortable because she started to pull again and she seemed like she was losing the composition of her free fall.
Yeah.
But now she looks much better.
But she helps with her legs.
Yes.
A little bit too much, and it looks a bit nervous to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look like 100% relaxed, but she's doing it.
But she's approaching the bottom.
Yeah, there she is.
And here we go, she's collecting a tag. She puts it in her hood.
So let's see how she goes up.
Which is what Sophie struggled so much with.
Oh my god, yeah. I stayed there for forever. She's pulling hard, she looks good.
Yeah, it looks like she's not in the rush. That's good.
Yeah,
that's what we were given, like the tip we were given to her, like not to be in the rush and
relax the body in between the pulls.
Yeah.
So really the credit should go to you guys if she makes this dive, yeah?
Uh-huh.
We're taking all of the credit.
We'll take all of the credits, yeah. We'll say that we just taught her how to do free immersion before
20 minutes before the dive.
And she's a really strong diver in constant weight. Her best performance is 95 meters.
95, yeah, so she has good reserve.
She knows she can go down. Depth is not a problem.
That's right. Definitely doesn't. We don't anticipate this being a difficult dive for her.
Yeah, exactly.
But it always can become. It always can become difficult due to nervousness, tension.
Yeah.
Tomoko also has an awesome static.
She does?
Yeah. How long is her static? Breath hold?
I think it's somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes, if not more.
Wow.
That's good.
That's fantastic. That's good.
So yeah, she knows she can go to the bottom and she knows she can hold her breath. So nothing is.
Alright, and there's the first safety. And he holds up a sign, a little 3-finger sign, to let her know that she's at 30 meters.
And a group record. So he says 3 times, and then at 20.
Second
now.
safety.
She's slowing down.
Look at the safety. It's such an easy day on the free immersion day.
Yeah. On the 29th, they're going to be suffering to keep up with us.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
She's coming to the surface. Last 10 meters.
On the 30 is the men's final for
And here
weight.
she goes.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a point faster.
She comes.
She comes up.
Looking good. She's okay.
Nose a clipper. Nose a clipper.
Alexi's trying to coach her.
Nose a clipper.
She looks hypoxic and she's dipped.
She dipped.
She dipped. We had a momentary blackout, it seems. And the safeties have got her.
Yeah.
She's okay.
A little
Yeah,
hypoxic.
She was
but
so close.
She was
so
not,
close.
Yeah, she didn't stand. she dipped her mouth.
Yeah.
But that's probably what is connected to the stress on the way down. Like she looked fine on the way up. She looked really strong on the way up, but on the way down she was tense. I could see that.
To me, it looked like she was struggling to understand what the coach was saying, and I think the coaching position could have been improved by positioning himself in front of.
Yeah, the coach was not. The coach was behind.
Yeah.
So the coach, when he was helping with the protocol, he should be really in front of the.
Yeah,
of her.
it can be very difficult to understand when you're hypoxic like that. You don't fully know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, any little bit of help can take you a long way.
Yeah.
This is also like a practice dive for Tomoko. She's focusing in constant weight, so we will see strong dives for her.
She looks completely fine now.
Yeah, she's okay.
She looks very much recovered.
Okay. Sofia. Sofia dives next.
Tapani.
74 meters.
Okay. It was nice.
I had enough.
Thank you. Yeah, you want to go?
I think deeper divers like that, so it's fine. Deal?
Yes.
Yeah, we can switch. Weird.
Okay. I might stay just for Amber's dive.
No,
We'll
please
get
stay.
Johnny in here.
I need somebody. Johnny can help. Good. Yeah.
Sofia Tapani.
All right, over on the white platform, coming up now, we have Sofia Tapani of Sweden diving. She is announced 74 meters in a dive time of 2:35. It's a national record attempt for her. Sofia's been diving well. She is a longtime AIDA competitor. I have known her for a number of years. She, of course, being from Sweden, doesn't have the opportunity to do a lot of training. And in her real life, she is a scientist and medical researcher for the pharmaceutical industry. So she can't just take off and move to Egypt and train whenever she wants to.
All right, here we go.
The
Official
countdown,
top.
and here she's going.
Once she gets told official top, she has 30 seconds in which she needs to immerse her airways and start her dive.
There's something you'd be very familiar with, wouldn't it, Adam? Being a diver that likes to make the
I've always been known to push the limits of the official top.
29. If the diver hears 30 seconds, if that's announced, it's too late. You're disqualified, and you're really not even supposed to be able to do the dive. But if we can't catch you, they can get one in.
Sometimes I'm just faster than the safety divers, Carla, and that's all that I care
That's
about.
true. So, Johnny, what do you think about Sofia's technique right here?
nice pull and glide.
Yes.
Okay, the coordination seemed to have messed up a little there. I don't know if she's.
It seems like she's struggling to get the speed that she requires to keep her body straight. Her legs seem to be falling down from behind her.
Well, if we look, it's not just the speed; it's the shape of her body. She's really over tucking that chin.
Yes.
She's almost looking back towards the surface.
Yes.
So
that's going to cause her body to want to flip with the water racing against it.
Seems to have found her bearings now, though.
There we go.
And she's settled into it.
Yeah. So, how was the? Is there any current out there at all today, Sofia? Are we?
No, today the conditions are amazing. I think the visibility is
very good.
The best we've had.
Yeah.
And the water, there's a little thermocline, but it's just like 1 degree. It changes maybe at 40, and then a degree less at 50, which is really
And
nice
here
when
she
you're
goes.
going down.
She's reached the bottom.
There she is.
She's there.
Grabs a tag.
She's securing it into her hood.
The old Gomez technique.
Yes, and coming up, the two Sophies are doing the same sort of technique, except
One was-
Sophie here had a little trouble with it. So,
if I couldn't make it.
yeah. I'm sure that Sofia will be very happy if she can make this dive.
She looks very comfortable in this ascent now.
She does. For those of you looking at home wanting to improve your strength for free immersion diving, you can look at the muscles that's being used there. There's a bit of a bicep pull in there, and then the tricep. So
Well, it depends. If you pull up quite high too, you're also engaging that lat quite a lot as well.
that's right.
So basically, get to that
those
chin
three
up
muscle
bar.
groups. Yeah, that's right, Adam.
And then we have some people that do little added kicks that kind of get some leg action going on there as well. Sofia doesn't seem to be doing that, but we do see that on some of our divers.
Definitely.
First safety has come in, second safety has now come in. They're looking into Sofia's eyes, making sure she's all right. They're looking at their gauges to see where they are. They're signaling to her, telling her so she knows where she is.
We really do have an exceptional safety team this year at the World Championship.
That's excellent. It's something that is our main priority. Safety is our number one thing at competitions. Here she comes.
Breaking the surface.
Yeah, and let's see how she looks.
Nose clip off.
Super clean, super easy.
Beautiful.
Well done, Sofia.
Nice job. She'll be very pleased with that. The other day she had a training, and it was the day that we had all that swell, and she was really struggling with the line. She said she just didn't feel like, she felt really uncomfortable because the line was moving with the swell, and she just said she couldn't get into the rhythm. It just
can be hard with free immersion when you always have that rhythm break.
Yeah, she said she just really didn't feel good, so I was hoping that she wasn't going to be having that in her mind. Excellent job, Sophia.
Well done, Sophia. New national record.
National record for Sweden.
Next there is Amber Burke of Australia on the blue platform.
Yes,
Aussie.
Teammate of Adam's, so he can. I'm sure he has some information he can be giving us.
I'm going to be
Amber.
now. I'm notorious for making fun of Amber, so I'm going to be very kind to her today.
Okay.
I mean, Amber in this training.
Not giving away your her nickname that you've given her.
I will not be telling you the nickname.
Amber has announced 73 meters and a dive time of 3:10.
So it seems that at this point in time in Amber's diving, Amber's been a very strong pool competitor for many years. And now that she's started diving deeper, really, she's never had issues with hypoxia, she's just sorting out her equalization. So in the Caribbean Cup, she did a 68-meter no-fin dive, which is one of the deepest female no-fin dives of all time. And so for her to be announcing 73 meters free immersion, we know that this is going to be a nothing dive for her. She's just working on that equalization.
Yeah, that's great. For those of you who don't know, she really started as a synchronized swimmer.
That's right.
Which is one of the reasons why she's used to doing performances underwater under breath hold. So
it's also why she takes a photo very well underwater.
Yeah, and she also has a very good feel for the water and control.
Yes.
You know, if you've done a sport like that or if you've been a swimmer, you just have an instinct into how to move your body in order to get where you need to go with small adjustments, whether it's your wrists, your hands, your ankles. Whoa.
Well, we've had someone slip over on the media platform, but they are fine.
Yeah, that was that crash you heard. Everyone's all right. We've got all kinds of cords and things up here, ropes and different things. It was just one of our staff from Dive Eye, but they're fine.
Still have
so that might also help explain her CO2 tolerance and her massive swims in DNF. You know, that synchronized swimmer background.
Well, I mean, her dive times for all of her dives are incredibly long. But because at this point in time, she's just not at all concerned with hypoxia.
Yeah. You know, I've had some people ask if you know, we see freediving moving into the Olympics in the future, and you know, we've had some different people say, well, you know, they don't want to show it because of some of the issues with a little bit of hypoxia and different things. Well, it happens in synchro all the time, and synchro is an Olympic sport, and they have blackouts and everything. So, you know, we wouldn't be the first one that would be crossing that hurdle to try to for public viewing acceptance.
Synchro, boxing.
Yeah,
you can see in the footage here, her coach Adam Sellers has shaved himself a glorious moustache for the occasion. Alright,
and here she goes.
What a specimen. Now, something interesting that I've noticed about Amber is I believe her lanyard is attached to her wrist, where most athletes would put it on their ankle when doing free immersion. So, personally speaking, I feel like it'd be a bit of a hindrance, but if that's her personal preference, then...
I'm guessing she's using an aluminium carabiner, so...
And it looks quite long.
Yes.
We do have a regulation on the length that is allowed in lanyards, but there is some variation. You can have it shorter or longer. A lot of us prefer shorter ones. I do, because I just think I'm not going to get as tangled with a shorter lanyard. But this looks like a particularly long one, but I'm sure it's within the regulation.
I like that with this close-up angle, we can actually see her cheeks all filled up with air for her mouth fill.
And here she goes.
She pulled 37 meters down, which is quite a long way.
It's quite deep.
It's half of the announced performance.
It is.
She's looking really relaxed.
She's falling quite a long way away from the line.
That's because she's got that long lanyard.
Yeah, it allows her to drift off.
Yeah.
Twirling a little bit.
Yep, she's gonna use that little hand adjustment to move
Synchronized
herself.
swimming.
That synchro swimming, move her back to the line. She knows exactly what to do with a very small movement. Feet, a little bit of adjustment
So
there.
she must have heard the alarm there.
Alarm.
Now this, to my knowledge, is her deepest dive. Well, it's a PB depth, which means this is the deepest depth she's been equalizing to in this training period, and so I think she's going to be really happy with making that.
Yeah, she looks really relaxed on the way up.
Ah, well, I mean, this is
Yeah,
this is a warm-up dive for her.
An interesting point. If you have a look at her head position, it's not super streamlined. She's allowing it to fall over like this, and it's actually making it harder for her.
Yeah, I would think so too. She just seems to, she's trying to relax so much that now she's got it up a little bit better. But what would you say, Johnny? Would you recommend more of a neutral position on the way on?
I'd recommend more of a neutral position, as if you're just looking straight ahead. As a swimmer, I'm sure you're fit to comment there. What do you think, Carla?
Well, yes, for swimming, yes, of course. But I just wanted to hear from you all who are, more free. I am not a free immersion diver. I don't like it.
Nobody is, Carla.
I know, but I've only done it once in my life, and that was at vertical pool because I was trying to win the competition, and I needed some points. But
if you have a look now, she's correct.
Now she's got it. Yeah.
Getting a bit more of a glide.
Yeah.
But look at it, it's a very, very long dive time for a 73-meter dive.
It is.
But
she's just taking her time.
That overall dive time for her, 3 minutes, is nothing to be concerned about. So,
no, not at all.
Everyone has to decide how fast they want to go, with how much oxygen they're burning, and how much ground you want to cover. It's really, some people are slower, some are faster.
She's enjoying the ride.
And here she comes. The safeties are both with her.
So, interesting point. This dive time is actually longer than, I believe, Sofia's.
3:16 is that dive time
Very,
on that dive.
very fast, very easy surface protocol.
So she's a little slower than what she announced, but not enough to concern the safeties.
And we can only anticipate a white card there.
Yeah.
She
looks really relaxed.
Is that a national record performance?
No, the Australian national record for free immersion is 80 meters.
That's Cristina Santa Maria
Martes.
And actually, she
Signs de Santa Maria.
She competed here. I've only met her once, and it was at this competition.
Yeah.
Her husband is from Freedive Utila Apnea Total, and
Total.
So I met her here.
Yeah, she competed. Cristina competed in 2014.
Yes, yeah. I was here with you that time. Yeah.
She won the competition with Ashley.
She did. So coming up over on the white is Camila.
My friend.
Yes, Sophie's friend, Camila Haber from Mexico.
What do you think about a Mexican Spanish commentary?
Well, we can have some Spanish for our Spanish listeners, absolutely. Sophie, move over here in my spot. Nobody needs to...
How good your Spanish?
I'm going to nod a lot and pretend like I understand what's going on.
Qué bueno. Super.
Qué bueno. Bueno, Sophie, entonces, dinos sobre Camila's buceo y...
¿En español?
En español, sí.
And in English.
Los
for
dos.
everyone too.
Immersion Liberal, here we go.
Camila es una de las apneístas más jóvenes que tenemos. She's one of the youngest freedivers we have.
She's 21 years old.
She's 21 years old. She's really strong. Tiene 21 años. She started freediving, 3 years ago?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, she started with
Johnny.
you. She started doing her instructor course with you, right?
Johnny is usually responsible for the freedivers at these competitions.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yes. We're very proud of that fact, isn't that?
I'm very proud of all of my
students.
Yeah, Camille is doing a 70-meter performance. This is a personal best for her. 2 days ago she did 69. She felt really comfortable and she wanted to try this new depth for her.
That's great. Yeah, I was telling Johnny earlier that whether he likes it or not, that I've been calling him Bob Bowman, the Bob Bowman of freediving. And for any of you who follow sports, Bob Bowman's Michael Phelps' coach.
Yeah.
So that is certainly something, I'm saying that to him as a big compliment, that he is a fabulous coach, and we're really proud to have him in our group of AIDA instructors and trainers.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you.
She has to.
Well, Johnny's been telling us a lot of your training secrets while you were diving and while you've been recovering, so it's good to know.
So Adam's going to try and see if he can improve his own technique a little bit.
Yeah, okay, it definitely needs
There
work.
she goes.
There she goes.
Right.
Camila's up.
Going with a fair bit of speed.
Yeah, Camille is a really strong diver. Yeah, she's strong. She's been training a lot. I've seen her.
She does all of her pre-training in the Bahamas, if I'm correct, with her partner Dean Schausch.
Yeah, she's been spending a lot of time in the Bahamas. She's been doing pool training there. She is a yogi, so she's been doing a lot of yoga. She was really proud because she can do now a handstand, and that's really hard.
It helps with the free fall.
It helps with the free fall. it helps with everything, you know. Like her core strength is really good.
But
she's looking really, really relaxed.
Great, but she's finishing her university studies, so she's still in school. So she has to divide her time between training and school still.
Actually, right now she's supposed to be in school, so she's actually dividing her time here between training and doing
online courses.
Things.
Funny.
Ella estudia en Monterrey.
Seems like she's having no issues with equalization, and she's
approaching
the plate.
Yes.
Wow.
Well done, Cami.
Okay, very good. And where did she put her tag?
I think she's
En la pierna.
in her leg. That's what that white strap is, right? There's a bit of Velcro on there.
That white strap is actually really pretty because it's like a Mexican embroidered. Entonces es como un bordado mexicano muy bonito y tiene un pedazo de velcro y ahí pone su tag.
Nice technique, nice pull, nice glide.
Very strong.
Streamlined. Okay, so here you can see how the head position should be and the coordination of the strokes, pulling and gliding. And as their arm finishes, the reaching forward arm is in a streamlined position already. It's keeping her legs nice and close together. She's
a little bit of a flutter kick, so she's kind of letting her legs go.
There she is with the safety diver.
For safety.
Muy bien, Cami.
Bit of relief.
Coach Dean is waiting for her on the
20
surface,
metros,
anxiously awaiting her arrival.
She's fast.
Very fast.
Very
It's a very fast dive time.
Yeah. Coming up.
This is almost a
Saori.
minute faster than Sofia Tapani's performance for
almost
for
the same depth.
Yeah.
It is definitely a minute faster than Amber Burke's performance.
Yeah. Really good.
She looks strong.
Looking strong.
Fast service protocol.
She's okay.
She's up nice and high.
Now she has to show the tag to the judges.
So Sofia, tell us a little bit about what happened with your tag on the surface.
With my tag in the surface. So I was coming up with the tag in my hand, and when I got to the surface, I started doing my surface protocol, and I let go of my tag. And I don't know why.
And that's a white card for Camila from there.
And a breathtaking performance by Camila Harvey.
Nice.
Johnny Sanix is a punny fellow. Alright, who have we got coming up next?
Over on the
Chris.
blue platform, we are going to be having Anna von Betticher of Germany. She's announced 67 meters and a dive time of 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Really good.
Alright, and I think I might leave that one as a cue to exit. I might go home and rest because I will be diving tomorrow.
All right. Well, Johnny can take over as our color man here and giving our commentary on our dives. And Sophia, you're welcome to join us if you would like to continue. That'd be great to have you. Okay.
We'll rotate into one.
We're just about at the end of our broadcast here. Anyway, we're coming down to the end. We have 4 more divers, which includes Anna on this line, and on the other line, we only have 3 more. So we are winding it up for today. And so Anna has been diving for some time. She's German. She trains in Egypt, as do many of our European divers. She's had some injuries and different things over the years. She's recently really become involved in CrossFit.
Yeah. She also had the no limits record? No, the variable
weight world record, I believe.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the region of 120 meters.
So I've gotten a message from Francesca. She says I should say hello to everyone out there and ask you to join in. And we're glad to have you here. And please send comments to us and ask any questions that you have, and we'll try to answer them when we can.
Nice abs, Francesca. We've seen she'd been ab diving the other day and caught some of the biggest abalone I've ever seen.
Yes, I thought that was like not true. They were huge.
So Anna is, she does a lot of work. She's employed by the German Navy, training them. She's a very accomplished tech diver. She has a lot of skills in, so she's been working with the Navy. She has to go stay at the Navy base, and she's a very interesting person.
What was her world record in variable weight?
she made an attempt in variable weight, I think.
She had a tandem world record actually.
Yeah.
Tandem world record with Andrea Zucchini.
Yeah, that's not an AIDA event recognized, but it is something that people, I think it was 100 meters.
Okay.
Final seconds of the countdown.
Do you want to explain people that is looking at home maybe how people take their final breath? Because maybe they see that they're like moving their heads up and down and they don't understand why.
So what many of the athletes will be doing is they'll take their final breath, which they're trying to get as full as possible, and then on top of that final breath they're actually packing more air in. Now this is an advanced technique that you should learn from a professional. Okay, and they're using their mouth as a pump, and it's adding extra air to their lungs. Okay, so they're taking more oxygen with them. For equalization purposes, it allows them to either charge their mouth a little bit deeper as well, or just friends out deeper.
Okay, you can see that Anna is also pulling really deep, 40 meters or more. Maybe is she going to pull all the way down? Okay, she stopped pulling. She's now enjoying her free fall.
She's got her arm in overhead position. One up, one down. And she is holding onto the rope to, I guess, allow her to close her eyes. So she's sinking in a free fall. During this phase of the dive, the people are trying to relax as much as they can. She's got her tag, stuffs it in the hood, and she is on her way back to the surface. So she's settled into quite a fast rhythm with a shorter stroke.
Yeah. It's looking like she's coming up really fast.
So I heard Anna speaking earlier, and she's announced what is a fairly conservative performance for her.
Yeah.
She's also had some stomach issues over the last week, so I think she's doing her best just to save herself for the no fins, which is something that she specialises in.
Yeah, she's had stomach flu actually, and has been having trouble eating, and it's very difficult when you're weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in a sport such as this, it takes when your body is not feeling at its best, it takes a lot out of the mind as well. And really, you want to have a strong body and a strong mind to be able to complete these performances. So she's coming up. She's slowing down a little bit. Okay, she looks a little bit fatigued.
Yeah. She does. Yeah.
Yeah, and here we go. We're breaching the surface, and okay, she's actually fine.
Yeah,
actually she's very strong. I think she was just slowing down. Yeah, she looks just fine though.
Maybe she was a little physically tired from the tummy illness, but oxygen-wise, she's very strong.
No,
so.
There was no shake at all on that.
No.
And there's
she's
a big
smiling.
smile.
Yeah, she's very
happy.
pleased.
She made
There's
her
a tag.
tag.
Anna is sponsored by Oris Swiss watches. You can see that.
And they have been very good to her. She's very proud of that sponsor. Nice job, Anna.
Well done, Anna. So white card for Anna, white card for Germany, white card for Oris watches.
Excellent. Excellent. So actually, so far, I hate to say anything because I don't like to speak too soon, but we've had one red card, which was surface protocol only for Alenka, and I have the feeling she might protest that. I wouldn't be surprised anyway. Anyone has that option to do so if they think there's something wrong with the call. And then the other one we had was one early turn from Lena. Everybody else has been a white card. So
wow.
that's pretty. Oh, a Tomoko. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's right. Tomoko. She had a red card. Yeah. So
overall, that's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
Considering that it's the first day of the comp and that nerves are
more prevalent.
Yeah. So over on the white platform now, coming up, we have Kristen Kuba. She's from the U.S. She's one of our Hawaii divers. This is her first main competition that I know of. I think she may have competed in Hawaii at one of our local unauthorized, not authorized by AIDA competitions. We have some over there that are just kind of fun competitions, especially for beginners. The rules aren't so strict and things like that, just to try to get people excited about the sport. a lot of our Hawaiian divers are spearfishers that have converted and decided they wanted to try to compete, and some of the same skills are employed, but there's also a lot more regiment and rules applied to this than there is to spearfishing. So, but anyway, Christian has announced a 64-meter dive in 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
And do you know how is this? Is this somewhere near her personal best, or?
I believe it is, yes.
So, whilst some athletes are coming here for world records and for medals and for national records, a lot of other divers are coming here just to try and see what they can do for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is one of the beautiful things about our sport. You know, you can have people that at a completely amateur level competing with, you know, the best of the best. So you actually, as a beginner, have a chance to meet some of the greatest divers of all time.
Well, and not only that, you know, there's another element here that, and Sofia would appreciate this, and you too, Johnny, now that you're living in the Caribbean. We are very proud to have this event in this location in our part of the world. And I know that our team from the U.S. and all the Americas, Central America, South America, wanted to show we're so pleased by sending a lot of competitors.
Yeah.
Because if we have this and then none of us show up, it doesn't look like we care very much, does it? So I know for Hawaii, that was a really big part of getting together a big team.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That's what the sport needs.
Yeah.
And in the future, I'd like to see that the World Championships are held, you know, in a different region each year.
I think that is definitely something we can have. Europe, the Americas, and then something in Southeast Asia or something like that. It would be great. Yeah.
So
and we just got to get those locations. We've got to get all of our logistics worked out. But I think that's the best thing to do, and make it more fair. You know, people don't have to travel as far all the time.
It's more people involved.
Absolutely. And you know, we have huge growth currently in Asia and Central and South America. Those are our two big growth areas for the sport. And so we need to let those people know how much we appreciate them being in our sport and have some nice competitions closer to home for them.
And also the Caribbean has, I haven't done any freediving in the Mediterranean, but Caribbean has excellent conditions all year round. The water is always warm, so it's really nice to come here and compete and have the best conditions you can imagine. So it's nice to come here.
Well, you know, this is kind of a sad thing to say, but the truth is too that the Mediterranean is always a sad place for me to dive because it's so fished out. There's no fish. Here we have beautiful fish and sharks and things to see because we haven't ruined it yet. It's, you know, still a tenuous situation for us with our environment, but every time I go to the Mediterranean, seeing a fish is like an unusual occurrence. So I love what we have here.
Okay.
And
I agree, Carla. So Kristen has settled into her dive and she's looking very relaxed. So it was a nice smooth beginning to the dive, and she's settled into her free fall, and she's not far away from the plate now. So there's the candy cane. She's got hold of the tennis ball. She's got the tag. She's taking her time down there. Very good. Tuck that tag into the hood, and she's on her way back to the surface.
She's looking really relaxed, really strong.
So she's on her way back to the surface. Kristen dives with her partner Daniel Corval, okay, who is also here representing the USA and will be diving tomorrow.
yes, I believe so. I haven't seen the announcements yet. They're not due till this evening, but I would assume he's diving tomorrow.
So you can see she started with short strokes, and now she's doing more long strokes, more powerful ones to power her up to the surface. She's right now at 35 meters.
She's settled into a nice rhythm, so not too fast, not too slow, looking very relaxed. She's now above 30 meters, and there's her first safety diver. So she'll be happy to see the safety diver. Safeties are wearing nice white rash guards to make them highly visible, both to the divers and to the safety team that are above them. So as the safety divers are meeting the athletes, they're actually sending intel back up to the divers as well. They can give a big OK sign if the diver's okay, or they can let them know if perhaps there might be an issue. She's now up into the positively buoyant zone. One last pull, gliding up to the surface, and there she goes.
She's really good. She's looking really
strong.
clean.
She's looking right at the judges. Nice, clear OK sign.
Well done, Kristen. Looking good.
Really nice.
So now we're going to wait for the
She
judges'
has a tag.
card.
Got
But
some wind coming up here.
going off what I've seen, she's looking very good, and I'd expect a white card.
Yes, and a white card.
Well done, Crystal.
All right.
And for those of you who are listening, and I'm so glad to have you today, this is the first of our broadcasts for the whole week. We'll be broadcasting every day, probably even a little bit on the training days, giving you some reports on what's going on. But I just wanted to also mention that Jonathan Sunex, who is helping us here and will be throughout the competition on the days that the women are competing, but additionally when the men are competing, because Johnny is not competing himself, he's just here to coach Sofia, his partner. And so he will be able to help me tomorrow when we have the men's, and that makes it much more interesting to listen to him rather than me. And as an aside, I just wanted to mention that Johnny is one of our best renowned safety supervisors, and he will be heading our AIDA safety department now to help us with all of that, coming up with the best possible protocols and the way we set things up and the way we train our safeties. Safety is our number one concern in our sport, and it's very complicated, as you can see. It requires a lot of synchronization and a lot of things, and we are really glad to have people like Johnny who are knowledgeable and experienced and extremely talented in this respect. Coming up on the blue platform right now, we have Belu, who is Belen Maria de la Vega of Argentina. She is here with her coach, Ricardo Montans, also of Argentina. The Argentinians were another group who was very pleased to have this competition here because it's close for them. So we have a group of Argentinians competing. Bella has just started this last year. She is a medical student in Buenos Aires, and she competed in Walid Budayev's comp, San Andres, and that was her first one this year. And she's trying to get all the Argentinian records and establish a program of depth diving for women in Argentina. That's good.
Shall we invite Amber Burke over?
Absolutely, I think we should.
Come on in, Amber.
Join us.
All right, Amber. Welcome to the commentary box.
Hello.
How was your performance?
Right.
From what we saw, it looked amazing.
Yeah, well, it was a white card, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah.
I would have liked it to be a little more solid, just with the equalising, but you know.
But you got down to the plate?
Yeah, I got there eventually.
Looked like oxygen was no problem at all?
Yeah, no, I felt like I could have stuffed around a bit longer actually, so that was good. Yeah.
Cool. And did you have any competition nerves at the start of the day?
Today not so much. It's a dive I've done before, and I'm not really in contention for a medal in this discipline, so
it takes a bit of the pressure off.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal. It's kind of just another training dive.
But equalisation practice for the No-Fins day?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Need lots more equalisation practice, I think.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Do you wanna help us commentate on this performance?
Oh yeah, why not?
So we're going to announce performance of 61 meters by Belu Vega from Argentina. And she's now coming down past 15, 16 meters, the active part of her descent. Right, Amber, tell us what you can see.
Yeah, she's looking really relaxed now. About 27 meters we're coming up to, still pulling.
Okay, so she's pulling a long way down. If you look at how deep her target performance is, she's aiming for 61 meters. Okay, so she's now still pulling, and she's 2/3 of the way down, and she's just started her free fall. Okay, she's swimming a little bit with her feet to help keep her balance.
Yeah, that's a really nice position she's got there for her free fall, that bent knees. But panning a bit early.
So a little bit of an equalization issue. She's on her way back to the surface. So what goes through your mind as you're making your ascent, Amber?
I'm just trying to relax as much as possible. Sometimes I count my pulls just to give myself something to think about.
So you'd count each and every one, or would you count them in sets? Or?
No, I count every pull to the surface, but I usually lose count. So yeah, I like to keep my eyes closed and just feel the rope and get some good strong pulls in there. Try and keep as streamlined as possible.
Okay, and how about on your no-fins? Do you find the ascent is easy? What's the most challenging
the
part?
ascent, yeah, definitely the ascent would be the most challenging part.
The ascent?
It takes me a lot of strokes to get to the surface. I'm a pretty slow diver, so yeah, Just counting strokes mostly, yeah. And there's a lot of counting going on because there's so many strokes to get back up.
So how many strokes would you guess?
Over 30.
Over 30. All right. So those first 10, you're like, well, I'm only a third of the way there.
Yeah.
So
she
Bally's
looks really clean there.
Yeah, looking very, very, very solid.
No problem. She probably just had stuck ears or something.
Yeah. So for many of the newer freedivers, the biggest challenge is actually to get down to the plate. It's equalization.
Yeah, that's right.
As opposed to breath hold. So
yeah.
As you master your skills of technique, then the game starts to change.
Yeah.
It may be easy enough to get down there, but it becomes a question of can I get back up?
Yeah, that's right.
And you know, for her first large competition, nerves come into play, and anytime you're stressed out, the equalization is that much harder. So, you know, relaxation is so important when you're trying to equalize.
We can see from Sofia Gomez's dive, you know, like this is not her first competition, this is her first world champs, and still nerves come into play.
Still nerves come into play, yeah.
So
and it's something that and you know, for some people it doesn't get better actually. They just get very nervous, and others don't seem to show it much, but that's just how it goes. So now coming up in the white platform.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Coming up on the white platform now, we're going to have our second to last dive on that platform. That is Lily Crespi of France. And Lily is been training in a number of places around the world, including Egypt. She's been training with...
She currently works with Miguel Lozano, Pascal.
Yes, and freedive Daha. And Daha freedivers, she is not residing in France, but she's, I think, working full-time as a freediver instructor and working with their program there. So she has announced a 60-meter dive at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. First time I met Lily was in Cyprus, I think, 2 years ago. And she was kind of just starting then, and she's really improved since then. Have you seen her dive? Have you watched her?
No, I only met Lily for the first time since she arrived here, and she only arrived, I'd say, not more than a week ago.
Oh, okay. So she hasn't seen much of the training.
Yeah, and so many of the athletes are traveling very big distances to get here, and one extra challenge for everybody is to get over the travel.
Yes.
I know for ourselves, myself and Sofia, we came from actually geographically very close, but it took us 3 days to get here. And I know for the first week it really took us a while to get over it. So.
Yeah, that's one of the issues when you have jet lag and everything else, and I think also just the altitude and then trying to dive at depth. It's all a combination of things that are very difficult. Camila, come on in.
Camila Harbour is here with us.
Hello.
She's going to join us in the commentary box.
Hi, this is fun.
Camila, tell us a little bit about your dive.
Pues it was fun. It was a PB.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was very excited to do this free immersion dive since it's the last free immersion I do of this season.
Okay, so you're done with free immersion. You don't want to do it anymore.
No, I'm just. This is my last competition. I go back to university, so the next dives are going to be no free dives.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So it was just an opportunity for you to enjoy it.
Yes, yes. I thought about that the entire dive.
Okay, very good. What is going on right now?
I think Lily just started.
I think Lily just started. She should be heading down. Yes, she is.
Okay.
And
so Camila, tell us a little bit what you can see here with Lily's performance.
Lily, very nice, very relaxed. Yeah, she's taking her time in between the strokes, no?
Yeah, so she's getting a nice glide in between the strokes. So we're trying to apply as much energy as you need, but still conserve.
The being relaxed.
Exactly. Okay, she's charging her mouthful down at about 30 meters, and she's still pulling.
30, and then free fall now.
Yeah, so at about 35 meters, she's commenced her free fall.
Yeah, some athletes like to grab onto the carabiner to follow the rope. I think that's a good technique to be able to close your eyes the entire time, no?
Yes. Do you close your eyes or?
I close and open, but sometimes I open. I'm like, oh, where is the rope? I have to follow the rope back.
Very good. So by maintaining a close proximity to the dive line, then if you deviate, of course, you've actually got a better chance of trying to relocate it. She's approaching the plate.
Very good.
Looked like she was woken up by the tennis ball there.
She puts her tag on the arm.
She's coming up fairly quickly.
Dive time 1 minute 30. Yeah, that's fast.
Alright, so she's settled into a rhythm. She's looking very strong, very relaxed, nice and streamlined. So Camila, tell us what you were thinking about during your ascent today.
I was thinking that it was a fun dive, and always when you meet the safety divers, I smile to them because I'm happy to be coming up with followed by them. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Does Dean know that you smile at the safety divers?
Come on. And I'm also thinking, I hope the tag's still there. You know, I think I have to just.
So where do you put your tag?
I have a strap on my leg, and I just grab the from the bottom and then put it straight in my leg.
Excellent. So it's a nice smooth transition of
to just here.
taking it off the plate straight onto there.
Yeah. I tried once on my wrist, but I saw it was a bit hard. So she's got
final meters. Okay, how's she looking, Camila?
I'm looking at her.
Good.
Looking good.
Nice, Lily.
And here she comes. Yeah.
She's got her tag.
Muy bien.
We're just waiting for the card now from the judge.
These moments are always.
Yeah, a little bit of tension.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
A little bit of excitement, and she's got the white card. So well done, Lily Crispy. 60 meters for France. And the French team have also sent quite a large contingent this year.
They did, which is great because it is far for them to come, and they were really happy to have them. We've got some of our well-known divers like Morgan Ortiz and Stefan Trudeau, and then some newer ones. Yes, Aurora, and some newer ones. Coming up now on the blue platform, we have Annabelle Edwards of the United States and Hawaii, and Annabelle is competing in what we call in the U.S. the Masters division, and she's going for a national record in Masters. That's for anyone over 50 years old, and we have a separate division for that, and just to try to keep things going, because actually freedivers can, as I can attest to myself, we can keep diving even though we are kind of past our...
But you're not a master yet, are you, Carla?
Oh, of course not, of course not. So Annabelle was so excited that we had this competition here in Roatan that she wanted to get together, a group of Hawaii freedivers, and she has done that. She's a former world record holder in AIDA. I don't know if you know that.
She's been around for a long time, yeah?
She's a very good diver. She's a spearfisher woman and she lives in a beautiful place in Honanao where they have a bay that they have competitions, and she has been a huge proponent of freediving for a number of years and really gotten a lot of these Hawaii divers started. So it's really great to see her here.
She's one of the legends of the sport.
She absolutely is. Absolutely is, yes.
Camila.
She and her daughter used to compete together, Jessica, and were winners several times of the team competitions because they were so strong in combination of constant weight and in the pool. So
see, I heard her talking about training with her daughter.
Yes.
I think that's wonderful.
So Annabelle has announced 56 meters in a dive time of 2:35. She keeps saying that she keeps trying to dive her age, and it gets harder and harder all the time. So she's a grandmother. She has several grandchildren.
I think also John, the judge.
Yes,
he also wants to reach the depth
of his
years.
Yes,
of his years.
Yeah. We look for different things and set different goals that we can manage, But it's great to. It's one thing about the sport that's really interesting is, you are one of our younger divers, but we have many divers, in their late 30s,
There's probably almost
40s,
a 40-year difference between yourself and Annabelle.
Yeah, and it's something that, unlike, other sports like swimming or track, you can still do it. Which is
like Natalie Motion, she was diving down below 100 meters into her 50s.
56, yes, absolutely.
Which is incredible, really incredible.
Yeah, it's more about staying in shape and staying with it.
I even I think now that I'm one of the youngest, I think that for the sport, the more mature you are, is the better. So
it's a sport where mental strength is as important, if not more important, than physical strength. So.
Really?
Right.
So Annabelle is off.
I'm going to leave you
We
girls
will
to
listen to
continue.
some commentary. Lily, would you like to join us? And
Tune in with you guys tomorrow.
okay, okay. Johnny's going to be off.
Thank you, Johnny.
And Annabelle is descending now. As I said, she's a very experienced diver. She's been diving for quite a few years. I don't want to say.
I just want to watch them.
I don't want to make it sound like she's been diving forever, but she has been diving a long time. She definitely knows what she's doing, and she has trained a lot of other divers as well, and has communicated her enthusiasm for the sport to many, many people. She's been a huge influence in the sport for us, so we're very pleased to have her here. So Lily, congratulations on a successful dive. This is Lily Crespi joining us now, and she's from France, but as we were saying, she's been training with Dahab freedivers in Dahab, Egypt, and so she's here representing that dive organization and team and club and teaching. And so how did your dive go, Lily?
It was really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
good.
perfect conditions today.
Yes.
No current, almost no waves, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we've had. I was joking that after the Caribbean Cup we had current day.
Yeah.
Then the next day there was no
Waves.
current, but there was
Yeah.
waves. And then the other day,
Yeah, looks like Annabelle's thinking about turning here. No, she kind of turned up. No, then she went forward. Now, okay, I am going to just for all of your knowledge, that right there was an issue with her equalizing.
Yeah.
And she had trouble with the tag. I'm going to mark this down for judges' review because if you stop and turn your head up, that is against the rules.
Oh, okay.
So I am going to mark that down, and that's the advantage we have of dive eye, good and bad for our.
Now you cannot like hide anything.
Can't get away with anything.
But you could see this on the bottom plate.
Yes,
Before,
yes, but we can really see it
now.
here.
Yeah.
So, but I part of what I'm supposed to do is mark down anything I see, and I just saw something. I am a judge also, for those of you who don't know. Most of you do know that, for good or for bad. But so
yeah, of course. Yeah, you could see that she was struggling with
struggling to
equalizing.
equalize.
I think at some point she even
pinched her nose.
a bit more. Maybe
Yeah.
the nose clip was a bit loose.
So in this respect, the judges won't know that right now, and what we do then after the fact is that we review the film in the judges' room. We review all the films at the end of the day, and the judges will take a look at that and make a decision on that.
Okay.
And they can alter the card. So right now, if everything else is fine, she'll receive a white card, but if they see that, that could change the card.
Okay.
So just for those who don't know, that's how it works. And here's Annabelle. She's very strong. Oh, I'm okay. And so...
Yeah,
we
they saw it on the sonar also.
Yeah, we have some rules that some people think are picky, but there's reasons for them.
Yeah,
and this
of
is a
course.
safety issue.
And also I think if you put your head up, equalizing is always easier.
It is.
So it would
That's
maybe
why-
encourage people to turn, then go back, then
and
you
that's
have
that's
longer
that's
dives.
exact. And where we changed that rule was after Nick's accident. He was doing a lot of that, and we think that contributed to his injury. So we decided that was not a safe practice. So she does receive a white card, but that one will be reviewed.
Okay.
So I can guarantee it. All right, coming up now on the white platform, opposite this one, our last diver of the day on the white platform is Charlotte.
That's why I'm here. I want to see you.
Yes,
We're in the same
course.
team.
And I'm going to have you move over. Change
it's
with me.
fine.
No, I want you to commentate. I want you
Oh,
to
God.
be. Yeah. So let's change positions. I'm sorry for
It's
the
fun.
view
We
here.
just explain what's happening in the dive.
Yeah. So Charlotte is on the line now. She has announced 50 meters and a dive time of 2 minutes. Charlotte is from France, and Lily, who is also French, will be giving us some information about Charlotte and commenting on her.
I don't know her that well yet. Actually, it's the first time I meet her.
I was going to ask if you trained with her before.
Not at
No,
all.
Okay.
No, I just met her here.
But it could be a good opportunity to talk about next year's Team World Championships.
Yeah. But I think she's quite new to depth. Like,
Okay.
or at least it's the first time that she applied for the French team for the depth.
For the depth. Okay. Oh, those moments are always 1 minute to official top is always like a nervous one, you know? Or that you have to
the
be
heart's going a little bit up.
I think I like, oh, my heart beats. But no, I think for me sometimes I have a difficult time being present because I also want to be away a little bit. But sometimes I have had some dives that I'm so not present that I don't even realize it's my official top that's going down. I realize later.
Sometimes you're in your little bubble and then the countdown is kind of bringing you back to reality.
Come on. Feel ready? Bueno, she's getting prepared. She has a coach there.
This is Arnaud, the coach. She's also in the French team.
Some athletes prefer to get the countdown on their language, you know? Language. For me, I think in English is...
me, I don't mind at all. I just need a coach because usually I do half of my breathe up with the snorkel, so I don't hear anything.
Okay. Well, under the rules, you are required to give your protocol in English, so I think maybe for some people it might be a little confusing. If you're being coached in your own language, you might want to, just because your brain's a little addled, reply in your own language, which is not allowed. So, because you have to always, I've had a couple of Spanish-speaking divers say to me, muy bien, which is a DQ.
Okay.
So they have to remember the only thing accepted is I'm okay or I am okay. So
I'm okay.
It's not hard to say, I don't think, in any language, but it might be unusual for some people.
See, of
she
course.
looks really good, really relaxed,
she looks relaxed.
very long strokes.
I think she's charging the mouthpiece.
Yeah, probably.
She charged already.
Still pulling. She pulls quite deep,
Yeah,
huh?
she go. So it's 40 meters now, and now she
only
entered
10 meters of free fall.
Yeah.
But at least she will have good speed, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But dive time, and we can see.
She's got the tag. She's coming back up. She's trying to figure out what to do with that tag. There she's got it.
Okay.
Muy bien, coming up.
Very long strokes, very nice.
Let's see. It's true, I've heard some protocols saying, I'm freaking out, or I'm like very, you know, like the excitement. But I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay.
I remember a friend in the hub say, I'm fantastic.
Yes.
Like,
no. I had one recently on great. And then sometimes they'll say something totally else. Where's the judge? And then that's a DQ as well. You can't say anything except I'm okay.
I had one,
she looks very strong.
Yeah, she's coming up. She's looking good.
Looks like she's enjoying herself.
Yeah. As you can see, her dive time here, she's 150.
Okay, she's on
10
time.
meters, she's on time. Everything's good.
She's coming to the surface.
Yep. Okay, turn to the judge. Nose clip. Okay, sign.
You can see the tag sticking out of her head.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Yeah, conditions are beautiful today.
Oh, that's
I hope they stay like this for the entire.
Yeah, and just, Lily, for you and all the divers who had to travel a long way, I'm just really glad that we've been, nice job to Charlotte, that we've been able to get this all together, and, it was logistically difficult.
But really, the nutrition is amazing, I think. Everything works perfectly, and it's really nice for us.
Yeah, it's very complicated, you can tell.
No, I can imagine how much work goes into it, but
for those of
it's
you
running really well.
who can't see, we have our speed boat here, our evac boat that's behind the white platform. This is our big dive-eye boat that we're on with all the dive-eye equipment and doing our interviews. We have the blue platform here who has our medical station. We have two doctors, emergency doctors there. Behind them we have the athletes boat, which is the dry area, and we have boats going back and forth to the shore. So it's a lot going on. Over on the blue platform, we're on our very last dive. This is Trista Fontana, and she is from Australia. She's announced 48 meters and a dive time of 150. So she's our last
close
Annabelle.
Yeah, she's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
you for joining us, and we'll see you
very much.
Land 40.
Annabelle, you want to join us over here for commentary on our last diver, who's Trista? Give us a few words about your dive.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'd like to see what happened to me at the bottom. That was so fun. Did you?
Yeah, we saw it.
I was able to equalize up with my head up.
So we have Annabelle Edwards joining us, famous, well-renowned Annabelle Edwards, world record diver, and we're really pleased to have you here with all your team from Hawaii. I was telling all of our viewers what a huge influence you've had on the sport, bringing so many new people into it, the spearfishing community in Hawaii, and the training facility that you have there at Hono now and in the City of Refuge, and just with what an incredible person you have been, and it is so much appreciated for all three divers, and we're so glad that you're here competing again with us.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, that's how I feel. Like I've had to make a nest for all my little pod of divers, and they all come from all over the world and dive over in Kona now with me.
Yes.
Yeah, in Kona, Hawaii.
I hope I have the opportunity to come over there.
Yes, I hope you do too. You're invited.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes, and not only that, but this year we're really excited about getting more of the masters level divers, divers over 50. Okay, I'm 65, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yes.
I should be able to dive my age, but
I was telling everyone that was a goal. Yes,
that was my goal. But I got a really bad cold, and I've had some equalization issues.
I can hear you a little bit.
Well, on this dive, I was going down. It's just like piece of cake. Oh, my right ear quit, but I was able to go head up and equalize, and it was so close to the bottom that I was able to get it.
You know that is against the rules, and it will be reviewed.
It is if you turn back.
Yeah. So we'll.
But if you stay head up.
Yeah. But so anyway, it'll be reviewed. Just so our audience knows, it's under review, and with this, we don't miss anything now. That's one thing, we can't get away with things we used to. There's advantages and disadvantages to this. So Trista is getting ready to go now. She's on the countdown. She's going to be starting. She's one of our newer divers. She's from Australia, as we mentioned. And I don't know if you've had a chance to meet her, Annabelle?
She hasn't been in Kona.
No. Okay, and she's
a lot of the Australian divers have trained. They came to Kona on the way to Roatan to train.
Great, and here she goes. So Annabelle, give us some commentary here about...
She's playing around. She has a mask.
Well, what I see is that she's not overweighted. She's kind of light here.
She's diving with a mask.
That's nice. I like to dive with a mask. So normally I do.
So she kind of pulls, equalizes. Now she's into her free fall. She's at 38 meters. Her dive time is 44 seconds.
She keeps her hand on her nose to stay equalizing.
Yes. But that also helps slow you down a little bit so that you can equalize. There she's at the bottom plate, got her tag.
She's going to jump off the bottom plate, and you know there is no rule against that. You can actually push off with your feet. I've had questions about that, and that is not against the rules. So for those of you watching, you wondered about that? Yes, that is allowed.
Only in free immersion, or is that
anytime? You can do it in CNF too.
Constant. Oh my gosh.
We wouldn't want you doing it with a fin on. Break our cameras and everything. But that it is
or
allowed.
hurt your fin.
Yeah, that it is allowed. So
I found that it's very interesting that the U.S. has some close community that you organize your own, like the Master Club. It's very nice.
It's still a small sport in the U.S. compared to others, and surprisingly, with the number of people we have and the amount of ocean we have, it's not grown as quickly as you might think. And I think it's because it's just that. I don't know, we're more focused on swimming.
Here she's coming up.
Here she is, here she comes, and let's see how she looks. She looks very strong, she gave her protocol, she looks just fine.
Very easy.
Very easy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Very well.
Just be a second, she has to wait for the judges.
Let's see.
Judges are conferring. She's waiting. Seems like forever.
Yes. Always feels like forever.
She's got the tag.
She's happy.
Bravo! And that's a wonderful way to end our first day here.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us, and we will be back tomorrow morning. We had an excellent day today. We had a majority of white carbs, very strong diets. I thank all of my helpers here for joining us, Camila, Annabelle, everyone who came by to say hello and give us a little report. We will be here the same time tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning.
with the
So
guys,
any of you that want to comment when the men are out, you're welcome to join us and say a few words and make some comments about the dive. So
Thank you so
very
much. Thank you.
Carla.
Thank you, Carla, for
our
taking
president,
care of us.
our AIDA
Yes.
president. Thank
Yes.
you, Carla.
Thank you.
Hey. Vamos. So the Masters Club, I like that. See, I think maybe I am the youngest in this competition.
I think so. She's 21. You remember those days, Annabelle?
You didn't have freediving then.
I was still swimming.
Might have been abalone. No, I didn't even. I never free dove until I was almost 50.
Me too.
I mean, yeah, I did